The numbers don't lie. Home runs in the American League are up 17.7% over last season. In the National League, it's a whopping 24.2%. What are the reasons? Perhaps bigger and stronger hitters. Or maybe it's the bat. Thinner bat handles for better whipping action with bigger barrels for greater contact. Or perhaps it's the ball. Is the ball simply livelier, juiced up? For some answers, we went to the Hauler Testing Labs in Plainfield, New Jersey, which normally tests construction materials. But since the Mantle-Maris Home Run Derby of 1961, Hauler has periodically tested baseballs for Sports Illustrated. With this year's controversy, the lab's besieged with requests. Balls are tested for comparative weight, circumference, and tendency to bounce.
Number 6.
In all, Hauler's tested more than 100 balls recently. The results?
We've really found out that the balls seem to be quite consistent, and unfortunately for the people who think it's a livelier ball is causing all the home runs, the balls are very consistent with what we tested a decade ago. So we don't see a significant difference in the test results between the balls 10 years ago and the balls now.
What is it then? The Twins' Kent Herbeck qualifies as an expert. He's among league leaders in home runs.
I see no difference. I haven't hit any balls farther this year than I have the last couple of years as far as the distance is concerned. I've hit more, but not any farther, so I really can't say that the ball is juiced up at all. They've apparently been making tests, and they say they haven't done anything different. So I think it might be strictly because guys are working out all year long rather than not working out at all. I mean, baseball players used to come to spring training and get in shape while they're in spring training. Nowadays, if you come to spring training, you're not in shape, you have a hard time making the ball club. A lot of people are using bigger bats and skinnier handles, and maybe that has something to do with it. But I think a lot has to do with the strength of the player nowadays.
I think the people work out a lot more in the off season. They really do. They're bigger and stronger, better athletes, more conditioned, and they're serious about it.
Former Yankee Joe Niekro is one veteran who's been throwing breaking pitches for years, forcing hitters to generate their own power.
You watch guys hit balls, out of stadiums, and you say, how does he hit the ball that far? I think there's got to be some difference. I don't know what it is. If it's maybe the wood and the bats are better, or the air, or the atmosphere, or whatever it is. But, I personally think the ball is traveling a lot further than it did 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I do admit one thing: the guys are stronger these days. They got all the nozzles, equipment, things like that, and they take good care of themselves. And probably quicker bat speed, but but there's a lot of home runs hit, and hopefully one of these days we'll figure out why.
Hope you enjoyed tonight's special features. Nominations are pouring in from everywhere for our best sports bar contest, even as far away as San Diego. But as you know, Sports Channel is scouring this metro area in search of the 10 best sports bars. Tomorrow night, we'll announce the name of our second finalist, so don't forget to tune in. Coming up next, tonight's feature game is a Yankees curtain call. We'll rebroadcast that 15-14 Yanks victory over Toronto from June 29th, an encore selected by fans' ballots. As always, I'll be here with Sports Channel Tonight updates to keep you posted on any late breaking news, and we'll have the complete wrap-up of the New York sports scene on New York Sports Nightly after the game. Stay right here. Yankees baseball, a curtain call, is next on Sports Channel.
Sports Channel presents New York Yankees baseball. Brought to you by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. The 9X Yellow Pages. It's the one you've always had. It's the only one you'll need. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are. By Nestle's Crunch. Chocolate is scrunchious when it crunches. That's why you'll love Nestle's Crunch. Canon, the official camera of the New York Yankees. By Dodge. Your tri-state Dodge dealer knows what counts. And by Toyota and the all-new line of 1987 cars and trucks. Who could ask for anything more?
Live from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Sports Channel presents
New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, the Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays match up in a battle for first place in the American League's Eastern Division. The starting pitchers, Dennis Rasmussen for the Yankees, John Cerruti for the Blue Jays. And a good evening. Welcome to Toronto. Spencer Ross along with the Hawk, Ken Harrelson. What'd you say? It was showtime when it started on Friday night. The Red Sox came tonight. Showtime continues again tonight for the New York Yankees. But they would not like to have a show like they had against the Blue Jays first time around at the stadium.
No, they were swept pretty handily. What were you just saying? They went 9 for 61 against the Blue Jays in that three-game set as a club. But one of the things, you know, this is a three-game series that, you know, you like to say, well, here it is in the last part of June. It's not all that important. To heck with all that. It is. You know, anytime these two clubs, now they've only played the 3 games, but we talked about the psyche involved. And Toronto has a young mentality out there, and they're the kind of club that if you let them think they can beat you, they're just going to beat up on your fanny. That's all there is to it. But this is a little bit of an unusual series in a way because you're going to see 3 games and you're going to see 6 left-handers go out there on that mound. Not too many times have you seen a 3-game series and 6 southpaws. And I think there's maybe a little paranoia here from both clubs thinking the other club can't hit the left-handed pitching, but we're going to see 6 of them.
Well, 22-3 was the aggregate score of the 3 games. Now, the Yankees today are going to have a gentleman who has not played since June the 4th in their lineup. I'll give you one guess what his name is. His number's 24. And having Ricky Henderson back in the lineup certainly cannot hurt the Yankees' chances in this 3-game set. Of course, that hamstring, it's still always suspect.
Well, that's the key. That's the key. The hamstring is such a delicate muscle back there, you know, and you can re-pull it, you can re-injure it, you can get it out there, and of course Ricky will have to just watch it. Now, if it's going to be to the point he's going to have to watch it to where you can't go 100% or close to it, then there's no sense in having him out there because of 2 things. First of all, the job might not get done, and the second thing is you'll have to re-injure it. Now you lost him for another 2 or 3 weeks. But it's been over a month now, so at that point, it's good to see him back in the lineup. Of course, Ricky and Don were not in the lineup when the Blue Jays came into Yankee Stadium and swept them, so it's a different-looking Yankee ball club. It's a ball club that has played hard. They've got on a hard schedule here. They've lost those 2 guys. They paid their dues, so to speak, to keep where they are right now in virtual tie for first place with Toronto. But the Blue Jays are very, very confident as well. You know, they feel like, even though they've been playing a little poorly, a little spotty lately, that they feel like that they're a better ball club than New York, and we're going to have a chance in the next 3 days. First of all, we're just happy to be here tonight, but working tonight. But we're just going to have a chance to see who is the best in the next 3 days out there on that field.
Well, the Blue Jays lost 2 or 3 to Milwaukee over the weekend. The left-handers tonight, Dennis Rasmussen, who's turned in 3 good efforts in succession, and on the mound for the Blue Jays, John Cerruti, the youngster who got the call last time, and he pitched one heck of a ball game against the Yankees. 5 2/3 innings of shutout ball.
And he gave up no runs, just 3 base hits. He had, I believe, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts, and he spotted the ball. He got his breaking ball over. And now Rass on the other side of the page has been throwing the ball well. He's had a good fastball last 3 times out, by far the best he's had, say, in his last 7 or 8 times out there. But the 2 left-handers out there, you got some studs up coming up that plate. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You look at that Toronto outfield, and you got Bell, Barfield, and Mosby out there. It's one of the best in maybe the last 25 years, maybe one of the best ever in baseball.
I think, without a doubt, the best today.
Well, it is, and it's one of the most powerful offensive, and they're a good defensive club as well. Toronto, as we said earlier, probably catches the ball a little better than the Yankees, but the Yankees maybe play just a little better heads-up type baseball. So we'll see.
Okay, we're getting ready for the start of tonight's ball game, the Yankees and the Blue Jays. And right now, let's check out the starting lineups. Hawk?
All right, first for our Blues Yankees coming in with a mark of 46 and 29. Leading off, playing left field, and it's good to be able to say this, Ricky Henderson. Batting second, playing second, Willie Randolph. Don Mattingly will hit third. He'll be the first baseman. The cleanup hitter, Dave Winfield. He'll be in right. Gary Ward will bat fifth. He'll be the center fielder. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Ron Kittle. Rick Cerrone will hit seventh. He will do the catching. In the eighth hole, playing third base, it'll be Mike Piarullo. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Wayne Tollison. For Jimmy Williams, Toronto Blue Jays, leading off the shortstop, Tony Fernandez. Batting second, playing center, Lloyd Mosby. Jesse Barfield will hit third. He'll be in right. The cleanup hitter, the left fielder, George Bell. Cecil Fielder will hit fifth. He'll be the DH. Batting sixth, playing the hot corner, it'll be Kelly Gruber. In the seventh hole, the first baseman, Willie Upshaw. Charlie Moore, the veteran Charlie Moore, will bat eighth and do the catching. And batting ninth, the second baseman, another veteran, Garth Orr. So it'll be Dennis Rasmussen against John Cerruti. First of a big three-game set from Exhibition Stadium here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And we'll be back with the ball game right after this. The Blue Jays have taken the field for the first of a very large three-game set here at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. And the southpaw, John Cerruti, 27 years old, 6'2", 200 pounds, getting ready to take his warm-up tosses. Cerruti making his ninth start of the year in his 21st appearance. As we mentioned earlier, this will be his second start against the Yankees. He beat them 7-2. That was back on the 9th of this month. When he went to 5 2/3, giving up no runs, 3 hits, 1 walk, and had 2 strikeouts. So Cerruti 1-0 this year against the Yankees, and he is 2-2 lifetime. Cerruti is not overpowering, but he does have a good fastball. He is not going to blow it by you if you're looking for it. And against the Yankees back at the stadium, he really got the breaking ball over, and that's a big pitch for him. Curveball, change, fastball. He can be effective. And here's the way his teammates will line up behind him defensively. In the outfield, it'll be George Bell in left, Lloyd Mosby in center, and Jesse Barfield in right. All 27 years old and all can play. Around the horn, it'll be Willie Upshaw at first, Garth Orge at second. The premier shortstop in the American League, maybe all of baseball, Tony Fernandez will be there. Over third, it'll be a good-looking young right-handed hitter, Kelly Gruber, and the battery of Charlie Moore and Cerruti. Umpires, the men in blue working this big 3-game set. Behind the plate, it'll be Mark Johnson. Ted Hendry at first, Big Ken Kaiser at second, and Darrell Cousins over at third. So everything is set. Large crowd on hand, as we mentioned. Not a ticket to be had. Talking to some of the Yankee players before the game, Spence, and they were saying their phones as well was ringing off the hook. Lou said he started getting them at about 8:10 this morning, and that's a little too early to be calling for tickets. He said the phone was ringing so bad, finally he just had to take it off the hook. So as you can see, the fans in attendance here, they're averaging well this year. They're averaging almost 31,000 a game. So they are into this pennant race. And right here, Cerruti has completed his warm-up tosses. And as you mentioned earlier, it's good to see Henderson back in that lineup.
Oh, it certainly's got to help the New York Yankees. And Willie Randolph will be in the lineup tonight. You just saw him in the on-deck circle. Willie's still nursing that sore knee, and he's going to give it all he can. And hopefully he will not put too much of a strain on it. But what a year Willie Randolph has had. And we'll get to him in just a moment. But right now, a smiling Ricky Henderson steps in. His first ball game since June the 4th. He's hitting at .324, 10 doubles, 2 triples, 10 home runs, 18 RBIs. And no doubt about it, Ricky Henderson in the Yankee lineup, a very, very important factor. The Yankees with 13-9 in his absence. And Cerruti's first pitch is mashed into center field. But right there is Mosby to haul it in. Henderson took that first pitch, took it deep, but right to Mosby, and there's 1 man out.
Caught it just a shade towards the end of the bat. Still hit it hard, and that's really the first thing that you want to look at from Ricky in this situation. I don't think anybody can expect him to come back in there and just assume that he's going to be going full tilt in his skills at this particular time.
And here is Willie Randolph. Willie hitting at .317. And the first pitch down low. And I'll tell you, if you had to take a vote right now for most valuable player in this ball club, you'd have a tough time passing this gentleman by.
Yeah, he would be one of the 2 at this particular time, I think.
Going inside for a ball. Willie hitting at .317, 44 RBIs. He was 1 for 9 in that series against the Blue Jays at the stadium. A series the Yankees would like to forget. But sometimes the memory of a situation like that can at times spur a ball club on.
Well, it can work as a double-edged sword. There's no question about it. You can let it affect you adversely, or it can be a positive motivating factor if pride is involved, and I think there's some pride on this ball club.
Got the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Willie Randolph. 1 man out. John Cerruti on the mound. A youngster from Albany, New York, 27 years of age, attended Amherst College. Some pretty good academic credentials in this ball club. Jeff Musselman out of Harvard. This youngster out of Amherst. And Randolph calls time.
Well, Charlie Moore going through everything Cerruti's got out there. Wanted the change, wanted the fastball, wanted the slider.
And Randolph mashes this one into right field. Both Yankees have hit the ball solidly. Randolph gets himself a base hit to right. And the Yankees have their first base runner of the ball game here in the top half of the first inning.
When you're writing down this lineup, this is the first time, obviously, in a long time, as you see Willie right here just go out and get the high fastball up out over the plate. And he hurts it out there in the right center field. But you look at the lineup. Henderson, .324. Randolph, .317. Mattingly, .314. Winfield, .293. Ward with all those home runs and RBIs. I'll tell you, it's just by far, as you write it down, the best lineup they put out there in around a month. They've been zigging and zagging.
They've been zigging and zagging without number 23 and without number 24. It was necessary. Randolph leading away from first. Mattingly, his first appearance of the year against the Jays, fouls this one down the left side. And there are no empty seats down there. Maybe a couple right now as the fans continue to file in, but this ballpark is going to be packed tonight. Of course, they're going to build a new dome stadium here in Toronto. Put an end to those 3-hour rain delays. And they've had them here.
I've been through a couple of them.
And I'll tell you, you can almost understand it also, because with the weather, the severe weather they do have here, if they called ball games with the frequency that they might somewhere else, as Mattingly takes this to left field right to George Bell, you'd have the Blue Jays playing 14 doubleheaders in the month of September, and there'd be no chance. So that's why they have those lengthy delays here.
The right fielder, number 31, Dave.
2 men out now, and Dave Winfield will step in.
Cerruti at this point does not appear to be as quick as he was back at the stadium. He had a good fastball over there, but as I mentioned earlier, the pitch that he got over that set everything up for him was a curveball. He really did a good job with the curveball and the slider.
5 2/3 innings of 3-hit shutout ball against the Yankees. He has won his last 4 decisions. This is 9th start of the year. Dave Winfield at the plate, hitting at .293. So we look at Mike Ferraro coaching down the lines in third. Winfield had that 12-game hitting streak snapped yesterday by Al Nippert. He smashes this one. It is back deep. Say, foul ball. Oh!
I'd like to see that one again. I'll tell you, I'd like to see this one again. Well, he gets every bit of it. I mean, he just hurts it. You know it's gone. It's just a question of if it's going to be fair or not. No, we can't see. I'll tell you, from where we don't have a good angle, obviously, from where we're sitting, but from up here, it looked like it really could have gone around that foul ball. I think David thought it did. That ball was hooking.
And there was no doubt about the distance. The only question was, would it stay fair? Down low for a ball. Well, Henderson mashed the ball to center. Randolph lined a single to right. Mattingly flied to left, and Winfield very nearly making this a 2-0 ball game here on the top of the first. And he smacks this one deep center field. Mosby back. Say goodbye. Home run for Winfield. No doubt about that one being fair. It was fair by about 60 yards, and the Yankees lead it 2-0. I'd say he smoked that one.
Only thing bad for the Blue Jays about there was no seagulls to stop it. He got a change from Cerruti right there, and I mean, he just hit a line shot right over that center field fence. He knew it was gone. Watch the big man.
Center fielder, number 22, Gary Ward.
Now says, wait a minute, that ball might hit the top of the wall. But there's a change out over the plate. Very seldom you'll see a guy in one at bat hit 2 balls that hard. I mean, it's just common sense. Holy mackerel.
You'll see him barely miss, and then usually the encore doesn't come anywhere near the initial effort.
He took his heat out, just fouled the left, and took his change over the central.
2-0 Yankees. Gary Ward at the plate right now. 17th homer of the year for Winfield. 57 RBIs. He's now 2 up on Gary Ward for the Yankee team leadership. And a strike to Ward. Ward hitting at .268, has only 2 base hits in his last 22 at-bats. Timeout called. I told you about an hour ago, it looked like the threat of rain. But right now the skies seem to have cleared quite a bit. The sun is peeking its head through those clouds. And it doesn't seem quite as damp as it did about an hour ago.
Lordy, did he smoke him. Reminds me of that series back at County Stadium when he hit those 5 vicious line drives in the 2 games.
Everyone was a solid rope in that series. But right here, 2-1 at bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ward, and the count goes full now. 3-2. A 1-out single by Randolph, a 2-out home run straight away center field for Dave Winfield.
Well, it really didn't make a whole bunch of difference here. I mean, this is just a good hitter's ballpark, and wind blowing out towards right tonight, so they'll be jumping that way.
That one was fouled right off Moore's mask, and let me tell you, he felt that one. Oof.
But one of the better hitting ballparks in this league. 330 down the left field line, 375 in left center, 400 straightaway center. Symmetrical park in that respect, as you see Charlie Moore getting bit right there by that foul tip.
Now you see all those empty seats out there. Those are seats that are not for sale. This is actually a football stadium, and that's why they're building the new one. Ball 4 here to Gary Ward. They fixed things up through the years here. Out in left field, right above where Winfield very nearly hit that home run. They have sky boxes up there. There's a big sign up there that says Dominion, and there are a lot of holes in it. Stan Williams was kidding before the game, and I pitched 1 game here. And that's, well, how come all those holes are in that sign up there? Rod Kittle steps in. Takes the ball, 1-0. Kittle, to some people, he's been a surprise. He has not been a surprise to the gentleman seated to my right.
No, not at all. He can hit.
A very pleasant surprise for the Yankees. Kittle coming into the ball game, hitting at .315. 7 homers, 21 RBIs, taking the ball to all fields, striking out far less frequently than he had in the past.
Well, that's why he's been going to the right side more often. Right there, he did not try to. He got a pitch that normally he would just go ahead and try to hammer out there in the right center field, try to get out in front of that one. As you look at Ward with that 1 foot on the artificial surface.
1-2.
Over the pass, Kitty swung the bat well in this ballpark.
Ward stretches out the lead with 2 men out and a 1-2 pitch coming. 2-2. Cerruti normally isn't going to walk himself into a whole lot of trouble. 26 bases on balls and 66 2/3 innings coming into this one. Season high 5 in a ball game. This is taken down the right field line. Barfield drifting over. This one is carrying. This one is off the wall. And here comes Ward in to score. Here comes Kittle on his way to third. He's going to be waved on in by Ferraro. Here he comes to the plate. Kittle's digging. The throw up the line. Inside the park. Home run. For Rod Kittle, and the Yankees lead 4-0.
Love it. Big man had no idea. He just kept running and Mike just kept waving. Here's why. One of the reasons we mentioned it's a good hitter's ballpark. Wind blowing out towards right. It's just a pop-up. That's all it is. Barfield will go back. You'll see it hit the top of the fence right here. He gets caught short. By this time, Garth Orge has got to come all the way out. And by that time, Kitty will touch them all. Lord have mercy.
And that ball just sponged its way back about 120 feet. And an inside the park homer for Kittle. Here's Cerrone with a little check swing number. Back to Cerruti. Sides retired, but the Yankees put 4 on the board. Ricket home run off the bat of Dave Winfield. A pop fly which just touched the right field wall by Kittle, worth just as much. 4 runs for New York. We go to the bottom of the first with the Blue Jays coming to bat.
It's the bottom of the first inning. Yankees on top 4-0. A 2-run homer. A shot over the center field fence by the big man Dave Winfield. And the designated hitter Ron Kittle with a pop-up down the right field line. Hit the fence, bounded away from Barfield all the way around the bases for the inside to Parker. And it's a 4-0 lead. So the big left-hander Dennis Rasmussen coming in with that mark of 6-4, 3.98 ERA, making his 17th start of the year. This will be his first starting appearance against Toronto. Last time out against Baltimore, he was victorious as the Yankees won 7-3, and he is 1-in-1 lifetime against the Blue Jays. Dennis, as we mentioned last 3 times out, has had a good fastball. He has been pitching well. Here's the way the Yankees will line up behind him defensively. In the outfield, Ricky Henderson in left, Gary Ward in center, Dave Winfield in right. We're talking about that vaunted Toronto outfield. That's not a bad outfield right there.
No.
Around the horn, Mattingly at first, Willie Randolph at second, Wayne Tolleson the shortstop, Mike Pagliarulo at third, and a battery of Cerrone and Rasmussen.
So we are set here. Dennis, who struggled through most of the month of May, has really come on strong here in June, winning all 3 of his decisions. He was the ace of this Yankee staff last year, and a lot expected of him this season. And after really starting off, I thought, pitching better at the start of this year than he did last year, the Yankees weren't getting him as many runs. Then he went into that funk, which lasted about a month. 5 consecutive starts in which he had an ERA of up around 11 runs a ball game. And here's the shortstop, Tony Fernandez. Over the weekend, Fernandez missed a couple of ball games, went home to the Dominican Republic, death in the family, had his consecutive game streak snapped. Smacks this one left center field. Ward is over and makes the catch of the warning track. Ball is carrying tonight.
The center fielder, number 15, Lloyd Mosby.
So 1 man is out. And here's Lloyd Mosby, the Blue Jay center fielder. On a 3-game hitting streak. Over the weekend, he became the 2nd Blue Jay to reach the 1,000 mark in career base hits. Damaso Garcia had been the first. Yankees lead 4-0. We're in the bottom of the 1st inning. Mosby 2 for 12 in that series at the stadium, and he's got a solid base hit here to right field.
It's almost a carbon copy of the way the Yankees started in the 1st inning.
Blue Jays hitting the ball hard. Hawk, it is exactly a carbon copy. Henderson deep to center field. Fernandez deep to center field. Randolph solid to right. And Mosby solid to right. One man out, and here is Barfield. That series at the stadium, Barfield had a home run. He had 5 RBIs, 4 hits, and 13 at-bats. 19 homers for the season. He is the defending American League home run champion at 40 last year. Curveball, ball 1.
One of the big pitches for Dennis tonight will be the breaking ball. Toronto, just an outstanding fastball hitting team. You've got to get an all-speed pitch over, and you've got to be able to throw it in any count.
Got the fastball in the outside corner there, 1-1. So Dennis can get that backdoor curveball into the right-handed hitters. He's a far more effective pitcher.
Well, if he can do that, if he can backdoor the right-handed hitters with a curveball, he's going to win. It's just that simple. It's the toughest pitch in baseball to throw for a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike to Barfield. 1 man out. We're in the bottom of the 1st inning. Mosby on with a solid 1-out single. Yankees with a 4-0 lead. 2-run homers by Winfield and Kittles, an inside the parker. Trying to think back to some of the inside the park home runs here. The only one I remember right off the top of my head, Hawk, was the one in that fog last year when Kelly Gruber just popped one up behind second base and nobody saw the ball.
There's a nice little lollipop curveball dropped in and over. Well, that's the first one I've seen here. I know there have been quite a few. Anytime you get the artificial surface in a good hitter's ballpark like this, and certainly you're going to have some more inside the park home runs.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The kitty. The kitty.
There's that big curveball again. Strike 3. Barfield goes down.
Here he gets this one down out of the strike zone and throws it harder than he threw the previous curveball. The first one was just that, as I mentioned, a lollipop. And it's a tough pitch to lay off of.
So 2 men away, and George Bell steps in. 27 home runs, 69 RBIs. That youngster out in Oakland, Mark McGuire, tied him yesterday for the American League lead. He got 5 over the weekend, did McGuire. Ball 1.
Watching Bell in batting practice, he really impressed me this evening. Now, at Yankee Stadium, the first 3 games they came in, George was hitting him in the left center field, over the left center field fence, right center field fence, way back out there. Tonight, all he was trying to do was just hit line drives. And that shows a little maturity. He was hitting the ball to right field, hitting the ball to center field, not trying to jerk everything out of the ballpark for the enjoyment of the fans and or the media.
George doesn't have much to say to the media, even on good days.
Well, I could care less if he talks to the media. It doesn't, you know, ball players that don't talk to the media don't bother me one bit.
But George has just had a running, I don't know if you can call it a feud or whatever, but that's just his preference.
In fact, that's okay with him because he lets his bat do his talking.
Outside for a ball. 2-1. 2 men out. Bottom of the first, 4-0 Yankees. Bell did a lot of talking with his bat in that series at the stadium with 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 7 hits, and 13 at bats. There's a base hit for Bell. This one on the artificial surface could go to the wall, but it's cut off by Ward. It'll save a run as Mosby is forced to hold at third, and Bell just stands at first with a long single. Good play by Ward.
Good jump. That's how you cut these gappers off like this. This ball's hit hard, not scalded, just hit hard. Caught it a little towards the end of the bat. Gary with an excellent jump out there.
Hitter, number 23, Cecil.
And you're right. In this ballpark, that is a very long single.
So 2 men out, but the Blue Jays now with runners at first and third, and Cecil Fielder will step in, the designated hitter, hitting at .263. He's been struggling of late, 0 for his last 13. Outfield plays him to pull. Curveball gets away from Cerrone. A run will score. We've got a 4-1 ball game. That'll be a wild pitch. That ball bounced way in front of Cerrone.
Right off the heel of the glove. I'll tell you, a lot of times catchers, I know their job is to make the shift move over and block it, but a lot of times you'll see most of those wild pitches go off the heel of the glove.
So not only is a run in, but Bell is now down at second base in scoring position. Lupinella out to talk to Dennis Rasmussen. Third wild pitch of the year.
That's a bigger run psychologically than it is on the board.
Gives the Blue Jays perhaps a feeling of yes, they can. 1-0 pitch. Fielder takes it high and deep to left field. It is way back. Say goodbye.
Well, this one didn't take long to get back close. There's off-speed pitch. Didn't get in a good spot. Not hit that hard. One of these exhibition stadium home runs, almost like you call a Fenway Park home run.
7th home run of the year for Fielder. And for Rasmussen, that is the 23rd home run he has given up to the opposition. And we've now got a 4-3 ball game. The Jays are back in it. Kelly Gruber takes ball 1. Gruber was become the third baseman when the opposition utilized the left-hander. We'll see a lot of them this week.
Well, all 6 pitchers are going to be southpaw. I like this young man here. He's got a chance. He's strong.
Outside for a ball. He has 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, hitting at .293.
He got a chance to be a real good player.
goes 3-0. With 1 out, a single by Mosby with 2 outs. Bell singles up the gap, moving Mosby to third. A wild pitch scores Mosby. And on the next pitch, Cecil Fielder takes it into the left field stands for 2 more runs. Now 4-3 Yankees. Strike 1, 3-1. Kind of get the feeling this could turn out to be similar to that wild one of Friday night at Yankee Stadium as far as the run total is concerned. Everybody smacking the baseball. And the wind is really blowing out. It's fouled straight back again. Full count to Gruber.
Gruber, 25 years old, out of Bel Air, Texas. Way up here in Canada.
Foul ball past Pagliarulo. Sounded like, and he did break his bat.
There was a pretty good pitch right there, especially on a 3-2 count. But Dennis, as we mentioned, Cerruti was not as quick tonight as he was over at the stadium. Dennis is not as quick as he's been the last 3 times out there either.
Yankees taking Rasmussen to a 4-run lead, but it is now down to 1. Dennis in his last 4 starts has not given up more than 3 runs. 3 of them in 2 ball games and 2 in the other 2. So the Blue Jays getting them for 3 biggies here in the first. And this pitch is popped up.
He just missed it. Watch the wind.
And the man who once led the nation in receiving as a wide receiver at East Carolina stayed with that one, and the side's retired, but the Blue Jays come up with 3 on 3 base hits. The big shot, a 2-run homer by Fielder through 1 inning of play. Yanks 4, Toronto 3.
It's the top of the 2nd inning. 4-3, Yankees lead it in a wild first one. Now let's take a look at the last out of the bottom of the first. A high pop-up by Kelly Gruber. He just missed it. This wind blowing, and watch Tolleson. He's going to have to be all over the place. Actually, if he just stayed right where he was. They're like Jackie Price.
Should call a fair catch.
Of course, Jackie Price, one of the great baseball magicians, I should say. He used to put on a lot of shows with those tremendously high pop-ups out of a bazooka.
That couldn't be easy catching one of those.
He did it hanging out the back of a Jeep.
Here's Pagliarulo taking ball 1. 4-3 in favor of the Yankees. We're just starting the 2nd inning. Pagliarulo took the collar in that series in New York against the Jays, 0 for 8. And this one's going to drift out of play.
Well, we'll see if his new crop is going to help him up there at the plate. Michael got his ears lowered today. Got them lowered pretty good, too.
Yeah, that's one heck of a haircut. You can feel the breeze now. Drifting through. Smashes this one. Base hit for Pagliarulo.
That was his problem. The hair was too long.
We'll tell that to Sampson. So Pags has his first base hit of the year against the Toronto Ball Club.
And he just pops it right in the hole between Upshaw and Garth Orange.
Michael came into the ball game hitting a .227. And Wayne Tolleson will step in now. Yankees shortstop continues to do good things, get timely base hits, the game-winning RBI Friday night, a batting average of .247 in the field. In a word, sparkling. Consistent. Can think of a lot of positive words for Wayne Tolleson.
Tired might be another one.
Yeah.
But not in this series.
The adrenaline overcomes.
No, that's right. The juice will be flowing.
Pagliarulo back. Willie Upshaw holding him on. Yankees leading 4-3 here in the second before a packed house in Toronto. Cerruti taking plenty of time. Tolleson doing likewise. 2-0. Both Upshaw and Gruber were beginning to move in down the lines. Lou Piniella flashing some signs from the dugout.
Going to have some activity now down in the Blue Jay pen.
Cerruti struggling. 3-0. Paldirulo on first. Nobody out here in the second. Yankees leading 4-3. And Toronto's going to get some activity out there.
Nunez.
Jose Nunez. It's another aspect of the Toronto Ball Club which makes them so good is their bullpen, particularly in the latter stages with the Eichhorns and the Henkes.
Well, you're looking at two of the better bullpens in the American League in this series. In fact, obviously the ball clubs are very similar.
Ball 4. Musselman also has been another positive.
Well, he has a chance to be a real good one.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, yeah. Jeff Musselman has a chance to be. He has real good stuff. We talked about in that Yankee series as the manager, Jimmy Williams, comes out of the Toronto dugout.
There is no doubt Cerruti's struggling right here. His last start, he went 6 2/3 and beating Detroit. But he has had problems in several of his starts. The start before that, he couldn't get out of the third inning. Milwaukee clobbered him for 4 runs and 6 base hits.
But the similarities in these two ball clubs, if you're looking at just strictly from a statistical point, Toronto 3 percentage points in front. They have the record of 45-28. Yankees 46-29. They're both hitting .267 as a club. The Yankees have 53 stolen bases. They've been thrown out 20 times. Blue Jays have 57. They've been thrown out 27 times. Blue Jays with a little edge in home runs. They have 102. Yankees have 91. But the one glaring area is the ERA, staff ERA. 3.58 for Toronto and 4.02 for the Yankees.
Blue Jays have put it together. Clancy's had a great year up until this point.
Well, if you're looking at the starters, I think the Toronto starters, they run 3 starters out there that the Yankees cannot match 3 starters. I'm talking day in and day out.
Yeah, you're talking about Key, you're talking about Clancy.
And Steve. But as I said earlier, I also think that Toronto may be a little better defensively, but the Yankees play a little smarter baseball. And it's understandable. They have some veterans out there. And that's when we were talking about it last night at dinner. That's one reason the Yankees were able to weather that storm so much. It's not because of the much that everybody excelled. It was a pick-me-up situation. It was you one day, him another day, the other guy another day. But they played sharp, heads-up baseball, with the exception of a couple games. But as long as you're behind point south, you're always going to have some days where you go out there that you're going to make some mistakes.
Yeah, it's a long season, but we've also pointed out the Yankees taking advantage of the opposition's mistakes.
Opportunistic. They played real heads-up baseball.
3-0 now to Henderson.
Let him bury himself.
With runners at first and second and nobody out. Paldirulo down at second. Tolleson on at first. Pack started off with a single to right. Tolleson walked. And now 3-0 to Ricky Henderson, back in the Yankee lineup for the first time since June the 4th. 3-1.
It's a good little bat right here for Ricky because he's getting to see some pitches.
His first at bat, he swung at the first pitch, a fastball, and nearly took it over the center field wall. Straight away, Mosby dripped back near the warning track, just a bit toward left center. And this is popped up.
He just missed that one.
They call the infield fly rule with Fernandez making the catch, and there's one man out.
Ricky was right on it. Lordy, he was right there. Here it comes, 3-1. You can see the big hang time he's going to get. Fastball right there. Ricky a little hot at himself.
The second baseman, number 30.
And there's one man away as Ricky, there you see Ricky just kind of tossed the bat away. Had the one to hit, and here's Willie Randolph. The Yankee co-captain singled in his first at bat, came around to score on the home run off the bat of Winfield. Yankees lead 4-3. Winfield's homer straightaway center field, and then Kittle hit it inside the Parker on a pop fly down the right field line that eluded Barfield's grasp, hit off the base of the wall, and skittered back about 100 feet. And Kittle came all the way around to score. Ball one. Yankees today placing Len Sakata on the disabled list. Ligament damage in the ankle. 6 to 8 weeks. That is the estimate. I wish Lenny is our best. And our best wishes for a speedy recovery.
Yep. This year Lenny has been a big man for this ball club. He's done a fine job when called upon.
Third base, second base, key base hits. Randolph fouls it away. Count goes 1-2. One man out, top of the second, 4-3 Yankees.
Tell you what, Lenny did a better job than I thought he was capable of. He really did a fine job.
Yesterday's ball game had a 3-base hit. But he just filled those holes. Gave Randolph an occasional day of rest. Spotted Pagliarulo.
Well, right here's when you cannot let Cerruti get off the hook.
2-2 now to Randolph. Willie has walked 51 times this year. Yankees leading in the ball game 4-3 and trying to add to it here. Yankees have already scored more runs in this ball game than they scored in the 3 games at the stadium against Toronto. Count goes full, 3-2. Mr. Cerruti may be 1 pitch away from an exit, although Mattingly, the left-handed batter, is next. Nunez has to be ready. Runners go, and down at third base. Let's see, ball 4. They call ball 4. And a break for the Yankees. That would have been a strike him out double play right there.
But the reason that Lou turned them loose is because of the strike zone knowledge, the eye of Willie Randolph. Here's a close pitch. But indeed it is inside. Mark Johnson, home plate umpire, staying right with it. And Charlie Moore's, that's a good play by Charlie, only because he's not going to anticipate. He doesn't even care what the umpire did. He's going to go ahead and make the play, go through with the play, in case he did ring him up.
So the bases are now loaded. No, 1 man out. And Don Mattingly, who flied to left in his first at bat, steps in. Yankees lead 4-3. Looking for more here on the top of the second. And Cerruti has been wild. He's dug himself a hole. Ball 1.
Can't get the breaking ball over. Now, he did that, as we mentioned, against the Yankees back at the stadium. Got it over in any count. Plus, he was throwing a little better.
One and 0 to Mattingly. Fouled straight back in the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He turned that one loose. That was one of the better ones he's thrown tonight.
Pagliarulo down at third. Tollison on at second. And Willie Randolph away from first with only 1 out here in the second inning. And Mattingly takes it high and deep. Right field. Grand slam time for Don Mattingly, his second career grand slam, and the Yankees clear the bases, put 4 more on the board, and we've got an 8-3 lead for New York, and that's going to be it for John Cerruti.
I mean to tell you, he just jumped all over a hanger from Cerruti. Cerruti missing with the breaking pitches. Right here, you'll see him just hanging up there very nicely. A high slider, and you can put it on the board way back. Barfield just turned around, and I can't tell you what he said.
That's why he turned around. He didn't want you to hear it. 4 RBIs for Mattingly, gives him 44 for the year. His 8th home run, and Jose Nunez will come on in for the Blue Jays.
They didn't let him off the hook.
Nope, and that's important.
Psychologically again, there's where the mo is built. Momentum is built. Get a guy on the ropes like that. They got him in the first inning. All of a sudden come right back after the Blue Jays put 3 on the board. Get him on the ropes again and just hang him.
Those bases on balls, and 3 of them. And everybody that Cerruti walked came around to score. And here is Jose Nunez coming on now. Yankees with an 8-3 lead. 4 runs in the first. Nunez, another youngster from the Dominican Republic.
He's 24 years old, out of Jarabocoa. J-A-R-A-B-O-C-O-A.
Good. I'm glad you tried to pronounce it. I just said Dominican Republic, and you always got to take the gamble, right?
Jarabocoa. That's as close as we're going to get. 6'3", 175 pounds. Started his professional career in '84. So indeed, he is a rookie in experience. Last year at Fort Myers, 8-2.
That's quite a jump.
The Florida State League, you know. 8-2, 2.47 ERA. So Nunez in relief of John Cerruti.
Nunez making his 14th appearance, an ERA of 3.41. 29 innings, giving up 26 hits and 11 runs. But Mr. Cerruti gets rocked. 3 home runs, a 2-runner by Winfield, an inside the park 2-runner by Kittle. And Lou Piniello's Yankees putting 4 more on the board here in the second, and a grand slammer off the bat of Don Mattingly.
It does make a difference, you know, as opposed to those first 3 games when Mattingly and Henderson are in there.
Well, at this point, that seems pretty evident. Here's Winfield. Ball 1. Winfield did something, as we mentioned back in the first inning, you really do not see that often. Narrowly missing a home run down the left field line. It went foul. His encore was even better as he took it over the center field wall for a 2-run homer. Fouls this one away. You've been in that position where you narrowly miss. Is something you get deflated a little bit normally after you miss?
If it's real close, well, it's not so much you get deflated, but I can only recall maybe once or twice in my whole career hitting one foul and then coming back in the same at bat and hitting one out.
That really goes flying. And the count 1-2. I've seen Winfield throw the bat. That time he looked like he was almost aiming it. Well, he really got corked.
Good hard breaking ball by Nunez after coming at him with 2 straight heaters.
Winfield now with 57 RBIs. And I pointed this out before, Hawk, but his numbers really so much more impressive considering the fact that Mattingly and Henderson have been out as long as they've been. There's a swing and strike. For Winfield to be on his way to perhaps a 120 RBI season.
Another good breaking ball right here. Way outside the strike zone. Got the big man to chase after.
22, Gary Ward.
So 2 men are out. And Gary Ward will step in. Cerruti goes an inning and a third, gives up 5 hits, 8 runs, walks 3 homers. Ward took a base on balls, his first at bat.
As we mentioned in the first inning, you could see he was certainly not anything like the Cerruti we saw at Yankee Stadium. Short on his fastball, couldn't get the breaking ball over. Then you got to figure it yourself. It's just a matter of time, which it became.
Swinging strike. 1-1. 8-3 Yankees.
I think Gary's thinking there's a little illegal substance on that ball.
Going to keep it in play.
That one went down pretty well. Funny thing about it is, the hitter, you know it right away. Doesn't make you never see what the umpire says or anything else. You know when it's got some grease or some foreign substance on it.
That one broke a whole bunch.
Has that funny spin coming in there. Just lopes at you a little bit, only it's coming hard.
2-1 now to Ward. 2 men out, 4 runs in. Yankees lead 8-3. And Gary Ward takes it into right center field. It is deep way back on the warning track. Barfield hauls it down, and the side retired. But the Yankees on the Don Mattingly grand slam home run lead it now through an inning and a half, 8-3. The sun setting here in Ontario. Canadian sunset, as the man once wrote. And a look at Don Mattingly, whose grand slam home run has given the Yankees an 8-3 lead for Mattingly, the second grand slammer of his career. Came off John Cerruti in the top of the second. And here we go to the bottom half. Blue Jays with 3 on the board in the first inning, 2 on a Cecil Fielder home run. Will send up Willie Upshaw, Charlie Moore, and Garth Orge against Dennis Rasmussen. Ball 1. Upshaw with 9 home runs this season. He's already exceeded last year's total, hitting at .267. Willie Randolph at second.
What do you know? A routine out.
Have not had many of those on both sides.
You're going to see some scoring tonight. I'll tell you, that win, that little ball that Gary Ward hit right there to end the top of the second. Just stuck his bat out there, hit a little pop-up as you see the flags. You get anything up in the air with anything at all on it to right field, and it's out of here.
And that is one wicked win. 1 man out, and Charlie Moore, the former Milwaukee Brewer, takes up high. When Moore joined the Blue Jays, Brewers didn't want him back. His first appearance against his former teammates, he smacked the home run, helped win a ball game. Here's a strike. He's 7 for 31 in a Toronto uniform. That home run that he had against Milwaukee, the only one he has hit thus far, 3 RBIs. 2-1.
This is not a good pitcher's night.
No.
Very seldom is in this ballpark, but not tonight. Especially with the caliber of offensive talent that's going to be going up to that plate.
This one is smacked to right field.
He didn't get it up.
Nope. Winfield's there. 2 men out. Got to get it up in those currents, and anything can happen. 8 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Toronto. And with 2 outs, Garth Orge will step in. He's really been struggling. Only 26 hits and 131 at bats, hitting at 192. Well, there's that big curveball.
Everybody's got their problems.
Everything's relative. Inside for a ball, 1-1.
This is one of those nights that Rasmussen and Nunez now on the hill for the Blue Jays. This is one of those nights you have got to pitch inside. If you don't pitch inside, if you try to stay away on a night like tonight, you're just going to get your brains beat out.
Smacked into center field, base hit. Garth Orge, a 2-out single to center. And the Blue Jays try and put something together. And we'll go to the top of the order. Tony Fernandez. Fernandez in his first at bat hit a rocket to center field that Ward tracked down. Huck, I'll tell you, all the great things you say about this young man, I agree with. But you know what really impresses me? Here's a guy who moves into the leadoff spot in the batting order and adjusts so much. Last year he walked 27 times. This year he already has 36 bases on balls. I mean, that's changing your style to fit the situation, and there are a lot of guys who won't adapt.
Well, there are a lot of guys who can't adjust, and as there are a lot of guys who can. I mean, I don't think it's a miracle. I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. I'm proud of them for doing it. But I mean, there are a lot of guys you ask them to do something, they'll do it for you. They'll change, they'll adjust. But you, on the other side of the page, as you mentioned, the ones that don't, sometimes it's because of hard-headedness, and other times it's just because of the fact that they don't want to.
But he has done a good job in that leadoff spot.
I know one thing. He is something to watch. He is something to watch. He's the best I've ever seen. I never thought, as I said earlier, I never thought anybody would ever take Aparicio's place in my mind as a shortstop defensively.
Foul ball there.
This kid is way above Aparicio. He can do things that Aparicio never even thought about being able to do defensively.
That's pretty heavy talk.
He's something. He's something.
He is a joy to watch. Tony Fernandez from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. Fouls this one away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And you had a pretty good kid in Chicago. Was a little younger than Fernandez. Guillen.
He's a good one. But again, we're talking about 2 different categories.
Good is not great. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Willie Randolph.
How about this?
Oh, look at that. A 1-base hit, no run inning. The Blue Jays leave one here in the second, and we've gone to Yankees lead it by a score of 8-3. Here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, as we go to the 3rd inning, an 8-3 lead, and this is really one beautiful city.
It's one of my favorites, really. Well, first of all, I'll tell you what, I really don't have any, with the exception of one, I don't have any places I don't like. I like them all.
Really?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Little Wiki, Georgia?
What? Little Wissy?
Yeah,
I've been over Little Wissy. We play football and basketball over there.
Here's Ryan Kittle, strike 1.
Been through Little Wissy?
Usually gets stopped, too.
Oh. If it's 25-mile-an-hour speed zone, you better go 25.
Don't
You better
go
not go 24 even. They'll get you for going too slow.
Here's a swing and strike. 0-2 to Kittle, who had a strange home run back in the 1st inning. 2-runner. A pop fly to right field. It just hit off the base of the wall. The wind grabbed it, and Barfield couldn't stay with it. And then skidded back after hitting the base maybe 120 feet, and before you knew it, Kittle was on his way home. A 2-run homer, his 8th of the season. Oh, good. Slider in, strike 3 call.
Nunez has a good arm. He throws hard. He's got a good hard breaking pitch. Looks like he's got some good grease out there as well.
6, Rick Serrano.
You're seeing it obviously in real slow motion. That pitch is coming in there quickly. I mean, he has a good hard breaking ball. Of course, when you run in slow motion like that, it looks like a great pitch to hit.
Here's Cerrone. Ball 1. Cerrone bounced out to Cerruti back in the 1st inning to retire the side. Yankees lead at 8-3. Fastball fouled straight back. 1-1.
He's throwing about a foot and a half quicker than Cerruti was.
And he's getting the ball over.
Nice little let up right there. There, he just turned it over on it. Looked like a fork ball.
And Bonham really dropped out of it. Next pitch fouled away.
Should have been harder. You'd have thought it was the the Cuban fork ball.
1-2. Ooh. Mighty close. 24-year-old Jose Nunez from the Dominican Republic, Yaracoba. Fastball, center field, Mosby.
It took him a long time to make up his mind to come in on it. See Floyd smiling. It's an adventure out there tonight. I mean, all of them. Anytime that ball goes in the air, you got to have as many of your teammates around in the vicinity to back you up and everything else as you can.
It can certainly be an adventure. So 2 men out, of Mike Pagliarulo will step in. Pags with a base hit in his first at bat in the second inning, leading off the second. And it came around to score after the Yankees loaded the bases. Tollefson walked, Randolph walked, and Don Mattingly stroked a grand slam home run. 8-3 Yanks. 2-0.
Don Mattingly drove in more runs with one swing of the bat than the Yankees scored in the first 3 games of that series.
3-0. Nunez, since coming on after the Mattingly home run, has retired 4 in a row. He struck out 2. Winfield and Kittle. But he's fallen behind to Pagliarulo, 3-0. Strike 1. Tomorrow night, Ron Guidry against another left-hander, David Wells, making his first major league appearance. Pitch fouled away.
That's a tough spot to put a youngster in a series like this. First major league appearance. I was looking up his record last year in the minor leagues. He's definitely a strikeout pitcher, so it'll tell you he's either got an outstanding fastball or an outstanding curveball, one of the two. Maybe both. We don't know. We'll find out more about him tomorrow and let you know.
There's a pitch on the outside corner, strike 3 call. Pagliarulo takes the K route as Nunez strikes out 2 out of 3 in a 1-2-3 inning. We get the first one of the ball game through 2.5. Yankees 8, Blue Jays 3, and right now let's go over to Lee Zeidman.
Tonight's studios. Hope you're enjoying tonight's Yankees curtain call. The Yankees are making news tonight. They'll start the second half without co-captain Willie Randolph. Randolph, who started at second base in last night's All-Star game, went on the 21 disabled list today. He'll undergo arthroscopic knee surgery on Friday. Randolph's average of .307 with 4 home runs, 47 RBIs will certainly be missed. He'll be out at least 3 weeks. Steve Trout takes his place on the Yankees roster. We'll have the complete story on Randolph's injury tonight on New York Sports Nightly after this Yankees curtain call.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here in Toronto. Yankees leading it by a score of 8-3. A lot of excitement. Home runs, first inning. Winfield a 2-runner. Kittle an inside the Parker. Blue Jays came back with 3 runs in the first on a 2-runner by Cecil Fielder. Then in the second inning, Don Mattingly's grand slam homer. And we've got an 8-3 count. Here's Lloyd Mosby, who singled in his first at bat. He'll lead it off for Toronto. Rasmussen had a tough first inning, but kind of eased through that second. Ball 1. There's a strike in the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dennis Rasmussen has struck out 1. He has not walked a Blue Jay. Fouled straight back onto the screen. 1-2.
Interesting. Just sitting here thinking about a couple of things we've seen this year. Like Friday night, 9-0 lead Red Sox had with Clemens. I've never seen anybody come back from that 9-0 lead. First time I'll ever see in my whole career is there's a little jam job. Jammed himself right there on a breaking ball. Easy out for Willie. And there's one gone. But first time in all my years in baseball I've ever seen a 3-game series with 6 left-handers starting. I've seen a few with 5, but I've never seen one with 6.
Number 29, Jesse Barfield.
just goes to reinforce and illustrate the point that evidently the Blue Jays feel like you've just got to go ahead and throw the left-handers at the Yankees, as illustrated by bringing up a youngster, David Wells, to make his first major league appearance.
And there's no doubt about that. It's kind of a strange move, but Toronto makes it. And of course, Jimmy Key, you can understand, and starting Cerruti after the good ball game he put in against the Yankees. But you start figuring this all out, and you start analyzing the whole thing, and the end result might be the Yankees, well, they clobbered Cerruti, they could wind up clobbering Key, and this rookie in his first major league appearance could do a number on the Yankees. That's what makes the game.
We'll see.
What it is.
As I said, it's a tough spot. I saw the Red Sox try to do that back in '78. And what is now known as the Boston Massacre with Bobby Sprout. They brought him up just to pitch against the Yankees. He never got out of the first inning, and it virtually ruined his whole career.
You got more single-engine planes flying over this ballpark, I'll tell you, with banners hanging down the end, advertising taverns, and all sorts of things. Insurance companies. Lefty Gomez would never get a pitch off in this ballpark. That's a foul ball. They'd be watching the airplanes all game long. Mike Pagliarulo down at third with that fresh haircut. Yankees with an 8-3 lead as we play the bottom of the third. There they go. A little free air time for whatever that group is. Popped up.
Good pitch. Got in on him. Now they got to make the catch.
Yes, which could be tough. And Willie Randolph makes it. Oh, I'll tell you, the higher you hit it, the better chance you have that something funny is going to happen by the time he gets back down.
Watch the pitch right here as Dennis comes with a hard slider, gets in on the fist of Barfield. And that's part one.
Watch this.
Part two, and the best part is yet to come. Look at all of them. I love it.
That is great. That is great. And that whole angle.
We're going to see some funny things before this one's over.
Here's George Bell. Ball one. Bell rocked a single to right in his first at bat. It came around to score on Cecil Fielder's two-run homer.
Jazz might be better off defensive players with chin straps and helmets out there tonight.
Don't even move, just stand there and hope it comes back down at you. Foul ball. Bell hitting at 293. They're going to have this new ballpark here in a couple of years. I'll have it ready, I understand. They were thinking about putting real grass in the...
Well, I'll tell you, you never know. This is, as we mentioned, a beautiful city. And the people here, first of all, I really like Canadians. Every time I've ever been to Canada, which has been quite a few times over the years, I've really enjoyed myself tremendously. But it also happens to be one of the biggest political arenas in the world. I mean, a very politically oriented society here. And when politics comes into play and you're talking about a new stadium, you never know. You never know how long it'll take to get built.
Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes here to George Bell.
You were mentioning that baseball is certainly here in Toronto maybe has taken over as #1 sport. Well, it's still #2. Politics is #1.
Oh, okay. He went for a bad one. Down low, out of the strike zone. Instead of a full count, Rasmussen strikes out George Bell to retire the side, and Dennis turns in a 1-2-3 inning.
He's starting to come inside on him.
And we go to the 4th. 8-3 New York. There we go into the 4th inning. The Canadian Tower on the horizon, the city of Toronto in the background. And we've got an 8-3 New York Yankee lead. And the first pitch to Wayne Tallison, ball 1.
We'll check some scores for you after 3 at Fenway Park. Red Sox leading Baltimore 5-1. Dave Schmidt, who put on a clinic against the Yankees at Memorial Stadium, he was knocked out in the first inning. Tony Arnold in, and Bruce Hurst on the hill for the Red Sox as that strike in and over. After 3 innings of play at Cleveland, California, they have been high. Won 7 in a row, I believe. They are leading the Tribe 4-2. Sutton against Swindell. Oakland leading Chicago 1-0 after an inning and a half at Comiskey Park. As there's a ground ball, second base. Garth Orge is there. Easy play and 1 gone. Minnesota did not score in the top half of the first inning at Royal Stadium. That's Straker against Danny Jackson, and later on Detroit at Milwaukee and Seattle at Texas. In that Detroit Brewer game, it'll be Jack Morris against Chris Bosio. Tigers just 5 games back.
Don't forget about that.
That's right. Madlock, 3 dingers yesterday. They came back and won that ball game. They were trailing big at one time, I believe 7-2 or 7-3. Came back and won it.
Anderson takes a strike.
In the National League, first game of a doubleheader, the Phillies beat the Pirates 6-5. In the second game, it'll be done for Pittsburgh. Hume for Philadelphia. And also Chicago at Montreal. Lancaster against Sorensen. Mets leading the Cardinals 3-0 after an inning and a half at Shea. Keith Hernandez, his 10th homer of the year. 3-run shot in the first inning. That's Cox against Mitchell. Left side to Hopper to Kelly Gruber. 2 gone. After 2.5 at Candlestick, Braves and Giants no score. That's Zane Smith against Grant. And later on, San Diego will take on the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. Dravecki against Welch.
Right here, an 8-3 New York Yankee lead as we watch Kelly Gruber one more time. You mentioned Kansas City. It just brought to mind an incident over the weekend, of which I don't have all the details, and some of the fans may have heard about it, but Brett Saberhagen going at it with Jose Martinez, the coach, in the locker room after a ball game. Here is left fielder George Bell making the catch, and the Yankees have gone down 1-2-3, and the youngster Jose Nunez has come on and now retired 8 in a row through 3.5. We've got an 8-3 New York Yankee lead.
The New York Yankees, the movie, celebrating the best franchise in baseball. The New York Yankees, the movie. Available only on video cassette. Order from the Yankees by mail or call toll-free 1-800-447-4700. Operator 222. Also available at your favorite video store. Order now. The New York Yankees, the movie.
Spencer Ross and the Hawk, Ken Harrelson, back here at Toronto's Exhibition Stadium, with the Yankees leading it by a score of 8-3 as we move to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Dennis Rasmussen settling down after a tough first inning in which the Jays scored all 3 of their runs, 2 of them on a fielder home run. Since then, Toronto has been limited to 1 base hit. And Rasmussen will have to face Cecil fielder Kelly Gruber and Willie Upshaw here in the 4th inning. Thus far, we've seen some pretty good stuff from this youngster, Jose Nunez.
Got a good arm.
Strike 1. The home run for Fielders snapped an 0-for-13 streak for him. His 7th of the year. His 19th and 20th RBIs. 0-2. What are you saying about having a pitch inside?
You better here. The last time Fielder was up there, he got a hanger from Rasmussen. As I said, didn't kill it, but got enough to get it over the fence.
1-2. Dennis Rasmussen looking for his 7th win of the year. And the Yankees have staked into a big 5-run lead. Here's the curveball, hit high and deep, left center field. Back is Ward. He leaps. He cannot get it as it bounds away, and in at second base with a stand-up double is Fielder. Gary Ward very nearly plucked that one down with a circus catch.
Another hanger right here. Fielders, as most guys are, good hanging hitters. Here's good effort by Ward. He just couldn't quite get up there.
On an 0-2 pitch. Base on balls will have a manager tearing hairs out of his head. He gets socked like that, 0-2. It does the same thing. Here's Gruber.
Especially on a hanger.
Kelly Gruber popped up to Tollison in his first at bat. Yankees with an 8-3 lead. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Blue Jays now with 5 base hits. That's the same total the Yankees have. But 3 of the Yankee hits have been home runs. Smashed foul.
Give this young man another year or so. You're going to see a fella who's going to make a little noise in this league. Kelly Gruber.
And again, when you look at that whole Blue Jay ball club, Gruber's 25. The outfield, everybody 26, 27. Fernandez still young.
Still young, just 24.
That's still young.
It's the best young talent in baseball, bar none. But as far as 1987 goes, I think that's an advantage for the Yankees.
The experience factor.
Yeah, exactly. And you can say, well, Toronto was there a couple of years ago. Royals got them in the playoffs.
This is it high into the air, left field. Ricky Henderson says he'll take it. And he does. Yeah, that'd be an arguable point. The fact that they have already been there. And they are used to the pressure. They've experienced it, and they've won it. At least the division.
Yep. But they still, at this point, just don't play as heads-up baseball as the Yankees do. When I say that, I'm telling you, they will beat themselves more than the Yankees will beat themselves.
Well, you go back to that playoff set against Dick Hauser's ball club. They had it won. Up 3-1. There's another wild pitch. Second one for Rasmussen tonight. And only the 4th of the season.
Well, there's one that's thrown, had no chance on. There was a 57-footer about 4 feet out.
So the Blue Jays with a runner now at 3rd. Only 1 man out here in the 4th. 8-3 Yankees. Inside for a ball. 2-0. Field. Base hit. It'll go off the wall. A run is in. Upshaw on his way to second, in with another stand-up double. And the Blue Jays trying to battle back here. It is now 8-4 New York.
He got a fastball up out over the plate and just went right with it. Here's a nice piece of hitting by Willie. That's his 16th two-bagger. His 34th RBI.
And Lupinella up, and we're going to get some activity out in the Yankee bullpen. Mark Connor will come out to the mound. And Cecilio Guante is up in the bullpen. Rasmussen had the tough first inning. Kind of coasted through the 2nd and 3rd, but here in the 4th, a double, which very nearly carried over the center field wall by Cecil Fielder. Gruber flied to left, and Upshaw doubled home Fielder, who would move to 3rd on a wild pitch. Connor with some words for Dennis Rasmussen. 8-4 Yankees in the opening game of this 3-game series. Happy you can be with us. We're happy we can be with you on this Monday evening.
That's a better way to put it.
Yes. As Charlie Moore now steps in. And tomorrow night we'll be with you. Guidry against David Wells in the second game of this series. Pitch down low for a ball. Moore had a solid line drive to Winfield in his first at bat. Count is 1 ball, no strikes to Moore. Pop foul, out of play. Sellout crowd here tonight, although there are empty seats way out in center field. They don't sell too many of them. Kind of reminds me, when I was a kid, I used to sit out in the polo grounds in the bleachers. It was 483 straightaway center. Some of those folks are out about 600 feet away.
Can't see them out there.
1 ball, 1 strike. 60 cents in the polo grounds bleachers. Hot dogs for 15 cents.
You can forget all that.
Outside corner for a strike.
Right here where Dennis has just got to get over the hump mentally. He's just got to reach down, suck it up, and pitch. Not throw, pitch. I think that's what Connors was talking to him about. You don't get out there and worry about your mechanics. You try to make some good pitches.
And here's the 1-2. It's smacked but foul as Moore just got out in front of that one. Rasmussen with a big lead, but by no means an insurmountable one, as the Blue Jays are battling back. A run in, runner on second, 1 man out, 8-4 New York. On a night with the wind blowing out and some heavy lumber in that Toronto lineup. To short, Tollison will hold the runner and throw out Charlie Moore as Upshaw stays at second.
Well, I don't care if it's blowing a gale out. I don't care what the conditions are. If that guy standing out there 60 feet away on that mound makes good pitches, it's going to stay in the ballpark. As we mentioned, this is not a good pitcher's evening, so this is when you got to go a little harder. When you got to rise to that occasion as you look at Old Glory standing straight out.
Two men are out, and Garth Orge steps in. He singled to center in his first at bat. 8-4 Yankees, bottom of the 4th. That base hit brought Orge's average up over 200 to 205. Pagliarulo at third will throw out Orge, and Rasmussen settles down, gets Moore and Orge. The Blue Jays pick up a run on 2 base hits. They leave 1 and through 4. Yankees 8, Toronto 4. And serene, the Canadian sky on a beautiful Monday evening at the tail end of the month of June. But it is not peaceful and serene inside this ballpark. We've had fireworks. The Yankees lead 8-4, and Don Mattingly, whose grand slam home run in the second inning is the difference at this stage, steps in. Got the outside corner, 1-1. Well, the way this youngster Nunez is pitching, do not count the Blue Jays out. He has retired 8 in a row.
He just whistled that fastball right on mine. No, 4 runs down on a night like tonight in this particular ballpark is not a big difference.
Nunez came out in the second inning. Cerruti was rocked for 5 hits and 8 runs, 3 home runs, and an inning and a third. To short, Fernandez, like Lou, 1 man out.
This is a night, especially with this baseball, that anybody who walks up to the plate can go the opposite field and hit a home run. So if that's the case, then you're in the ball game all the way. As that ball was hit hard by Donald.
USA Today, as we look at Mark Connor and Lou Piniella, had a little box today on the home runs. Up more than half a home run a ball game over 2 years ago. That's a lot.
Doesn't surprise me the way, well, we've seen it. I mean, you know, you said earlier, a month ago, seen more opposite field home runs in that up until that time frame than we had in the last 2 or 3 years.
Winfield takes a strike. Winfield with a 2-run homer in his first at bat after narrowly missing one down the left field line. He then took it over the center field wall.
Have you checked the attendance around baseball, though? Is it up? I would imagine.
Oh, yes,
the numbers.
it is.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say. I think, as I said earlier, I think it's great. I think the hot baseball is fun. Fun for the fans. The only people don't like are the pitchers.
Just missed inside there. Oh, there's no doubt it's been exciting this year. He can bring it up there.
Well, he's making some good pitches, too. That's what's really the first thing that grabs you about Nunez is his arm. He's got a good one. Next thing, in this particular game, since he's come in, he's made some real fine pitches. That's one reason nobody's been on base against him.
1-2 to Winfield.
He's changed speeds. He's shown them 4 pitches. He's shown the fastball, the slider, the curve, and whatever that other thing is. The grease or the forkball. Actually 5 pitches because he's shown both of them.
High heat that time. Fourth strikeout for the 24-year-old.
He just reaches back and puts a little giddy up on this one.
Center fielder, 22, Gary Ward.
And they're a 2-man away. 10 in a row for Nunez. Ward with a base on balls. He's fly to right. And that fly ball to right of Nunez very nearly sailed out of the ballpark. Strike 1. Yankees jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the first inning. 2-run homer by Winfield, and inside the park, 2-runner by Kittle. Blue Jays got 3 back in their half, 2 of them on a fielder home run, and then Mattingly's grand slammer in the second. Since then, both clubs scoreless.
What are you doing, talking over the crowd noise?
So sure, yeah. I ain't gonna stop the lace. I don't care, home or here, I'll talk over that kind of talk.
I'm with you, Parks.
This is a ball game. It's supposed to be fun. You root for your team, and there's no need for that. 2-1. 3-1.
Nunez so far has shown him one thing: you can't cover the plate on him. You better pick your spot, whether it be the inner half or the outer half. You got to look there. And it's a lot easier to take the inner half off him if you're a right-handed hitter. But you cannot cover the whole plate off of him.
This is smashed to right field. Barfield looked like he was going down and taking a bead or taking aim because he didn't want anything to take care of that baseball. And looking at the lights also, he had a bit of a problem. And the Yankees go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the 5th, so we're halfway home. The Yankees lead at 8-4. Yankees lead it by a score of 8-4. Dennis Rasmussen struggled through the 4th inning, a couple of doubles, but then settled down to get Moore and Ord. By the way the youngster Nunez has been pitching, Rasmussen has to tighten it up a little bit. And Fernandez will lead it off. He's 0 for 2. Fly to center, bounce to second. Ball 1. Fernandez with only 1 base hit and 13 at-bats against the Yankees this year. time. But the big question is Rasmussen hurt? More so than the base hit.
Well, he might be stung a little bit, but I think he's all right. If he doesn't slip, he's going to get him. Ball's hit hard by Fernandez. From up here, it looked like he got him just above the knee. And activity, once again, very quickly as Guante gets up, just in case he is. But he's pointing. It looks like he's all right.
This is something we've talked about quite a bit this year with that juiced-up baseball, if indeed it is. It's dangerous out there in that mound.
But you can forget if indeed it is.
Well, I just threw that if in there, you know.
It's juice. There's no question about it. And as we've talked about, that's the only thing that is a negative aspect. It's not for your infielders, it's for some of these pitchers. Very close play is. Dennis made a good effort right there.
High fastball, good swing.
And some gas right there. I think Dennis knows exactly the same thing.
You've got Barfield, Bell, Fielder, and Gruber, 4 straight right-handed batters to follow. And Cecilio Guante in the bullpen.
Well, if he goes to Guante, probably they'll go to McGriff and Mullenix. But for sure, Barfield and Bell.
Yes,
that's enough said.
Change him.
We are temporarily experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
What Jimmy Williams is looking for right now is something that's got going. With the leadoff man on, he's looking right here, and he will shoot that gun in a hurry to try to get 3 or 4 runs across here.
Dennis Rasmussen trying to stem the tide right here. Dennis has given up 7 base hits. Yankees have been out hit 7-5, but leading the ball game 8-4. 3 home runs for New York. Winfield and Kittle, 2 runners. Kittle's an inside the Parker, and Mattingly a grand slammer. The 1-2 pitch coming. Line to the left field, but Henderson is there to make the catch.
You'll see the right and left fielders really ducking and diving out there. Not because of the wind so much in that particular situation, the line drives. It's because of the lights. Spencer mentioned that last inning with Barfield out there. You got to fight the lights here at Exhibition Stadium.
And here is Barfield. It was 0 for 2. Struck out swinging. It popped up to Randolph. And one of the strangest looking pop-ups we have seen. The wind really took it, and you had 4 infielders trying to surround the baseball.
Dennis, the last couple of innings, has tried to get inside. And back in the 3rd, he did a good job of it. He even started a little bit of it in the 2nd inning. Last couple of innings, though, he's been trying to get in there and can't get it from Mark Johnson. As that wind liable to bring it right back on in. Nope. Just in the 1st row.
So the count 1-1. Tony Fernandez down at first base.
Well, there's a lot of talent in that shot.
Yes, in there. You're talking about 2 greats. Down the road some 15-20 years from now.
Yep.
They stay healthy. Just continue to produce. We're talking about Hall of Famers. Down low. We want to apologize for those technical difficulties we had been experiencing. And things are all cleared up now. I love the broadcaster one time apologized for the audio difficulties we're having right now. Up high for a ball.
3-1. Wanted that one. Watch out, the late steal.
And he's going to go over to 3rd. Good alert play by Fernandez. Caught the Yanks snapping.
Yep. Caught him flat-footed. And sometimes a play like this will just absolutely, that looked like a pretty good strike right there. And as Cerrone starts to throw it back, now all of a sudden he sees him take off. Too late. That's not Dennis's fault right there. That's Cerrone's, as Dennis did everything he could. Catcher's got to be looking for that. Ball hit him, bounced away. You see him right there in the left shoulder, evidently. And in a series like this, you don't want to be caught napping.
So the count 3-1, and Fernandez down at third with one man out. 3-2. It'll go as the stolen base, and we have not heard it, but I imagine the error will have to go to Rasmussen. Three balls, 2 strikes to Barfield. And Dennis gets himself a big strikeout right on the inside corner.
Well, he persevered. He was persistent in trying to get inside on Barfield. And there's just a fastball, catches the inside corner. Almost an identical pitch that he did not get 2 pitches ago.
So a big out right there. And Rasmussen now has to face the dangerous George Bell, who's 1 for 2. He scored a run. Big strikeout for Rasmussen right there. His 4th of the ball game. Ball 1. He's gotten Barfield twice. Bell once. Check that, it is 3. Those are the only 3. Inside for a ball. 2-0. Well, Fernandez trying to shake things up a little bit more coming down the line at third.
Well, he's done a pretty good job already this inning. And you're so right. What a big strikeout. What a big pitch to Barfield. And here comes Luigi out of the dugout. He's come inside the first 2 pitches here to Bell with 2 good hard sliders way inside. And that is not a pitch particularly that Lou likes that much. Lou likes to see the left-hander to the strong right-hand hitter with more of the fastball in there and the curveball on the outside.
So that conversation was really directed more to Cerrone than to Rasmussen.
Well, Lou will talk to he will talk to the catchers, believe me, and he believes in that. And it's so important, as we've talked about in the past. The catcher today is bigger in the running of a ball game than he's ever been.
2-0 pitch fouled away. 2 balls, 1 strike now to George Bell. Yankees leading 8-4 here in the bottom of the 5th.
In the past, you had a lot of pitchers out there who played the game, the total game. They had to go to the plate 4 times, and they were involved in situations. They had to be more of a student. And with the advent of the DH, so to speak, they've been taken care out of that situation, and they don't think for themselves as well as they used to. So the catcher, somebody's got to think for them.
3 balls, 1 strike. 2 men out here in the 5th. Tony Fernandez down at third base. An 8-4 Yankee lead. And it's ball 4. The walk to Bell. First base on balls given up by Rasmussen.
Well, here's an interesting scenario. Cecil Fielder. He has hit a 2-run homer off a hanger. And he hit a 0-2 hanger off the top of the left center field fence for a double. And in that last at bat, he threw 2 fastballs. He threw 1 for a strike, and he threw the other one by him. So we'll see what he wants to do here. I don't think he's going to get another hanger. Or you sure like to think he would.
A 4-run Yankee lead. The dangerous Fielder at the plate. 2 men on, 2 men out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Ball 2, 2-0. On Kelly Gruber.
Yeah, well, Rass just looking in there now. He feels like he's being squeezed to death by home plate umpire Mark Johnson.
Smacked down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Dennis Rasmussen right there about 12 or 14 inches away from not getting this 5th inning in. And he knows it.
If he walked Barfield on that close 3-2 pitch, he would have been out of there.
Two balls, one strike. Up high, ball 3-1. The fielder. One pitch away from loading the bases and bringing the tying run to the plate. And undoubtedly bringing Cecilio Guante in from the bullpen. Got the strike in. Full count.
This is probably the pitch of the evening for Rasmussen.
Dennis trying to gut it out. Fernandez at third. George Bell over at first with 2 men out. And a 3-2 pitch coming. Hit high into the air to left field. Back is Henderson. Back is Ward. Ricky Henderson snatches it away. And the side is retired. But Cecil Fielder came mighty close to putting 3 on the board right then and there.
Lordy.
Oh, we played 5. It is still the Yankees 8, the Blue Jays 4. Kittle contributed a line in the 1st inning that just stayed up in the air. Barfield couldn't play it. It hit off the base of the wall inside the park, home run. Gruber throws Kittle out.
In the National League, Mets still leading St. Louis 3-0. That's after 3.5 at Shea. Keith Hernandez, his 10th homer, 3-run shot. Cox against Mitchell in that one. First game of a doubleheader. Philadelphia beat Pittsburgh 6-5. Second game, it'll be Hume against Dunn. The Cubs leading Montreal 4-0 after 1 inning of play. And no score after 4.5. Atlanta, San Francisco. Later on, San Diego at Los Angeles.
Rick Cerrone takes strike 1. Cerrone in the ball game 0 for 2. He's bounced to the mound, flied to center. Jose Nunez, who came on for John Cerruti, who struggled through an inning and a third, giving up 5 hits and 8 runs. All Nunez has done is retire 12 in a row.
Like we talked about, even on a night like tonight, you make good pitches. I don't care if Hurricane Gloria is out there. It's going to stay in the yard.
Now that's going to be it for Dennis Rasmussen. Cecilio Guante is coming from the bullpen. And he's going to come in and pitch the 6th inning. Three and 1.
I think Lou, in that last situation, what he was really thinking about, he had rather had Rasmussen against Fielder in that spot than Guante against Fred McGriff. The wind is blowing from left to right, hard out to right, and knocking the ball down now. The fly ball's out there in the left field, knocking it down, as it did that drive by Fielder.
And, of course, very much in one mind's eye is that home run that McGriff hit at the stadium.
Yes. Well, Lou wanted the right-handed hitter at the plate's what he wanted, to have to battle that wind.
That snaps the streak of 12 in a row for Nunez. First Yankee base runner since this youngster's come on. He had struck out 4 and just completely dominated the Yankee attack. And here is Mike Pagliarulo. But Nunez, he has already, let's see, he has gone 4 innings plus. His longest stint this year, 4 2/3. 1-0.
Here comes the manager, Jimmy Williams, out to talk to the young right-hander. You know, when you mentioned Dennis getting the 5th, I don't think that was in Lou's mind at all.
Oh, no,
He'd like to have seen it,
yeah.
you know, but that was purely secondary right there. To which side he wanted somebody up at that plate.
He didn't want McGriff in there.
No.
At that particular
or any left-handed hitter up there.
manager cannot look at championship games in a contending ball club and be concerned about any pitcher.
No.
Just getting that final out in the 5th inning to get a decision.
Well, the Yankees caught a break right there, too, as they were napping, as Fernandez made the delayed steal, the error, on third base with 1 out, and Toronto could not capitalize on it.
Got the outside corner, 1-1 to Pagliarulo. Pags is 1 for 2. He scored a run, singled in the 2nd. Cerrone leading away. Pagliarulo with that base hit in the 2nd inning. Then Tolleson walked. And with 1 out, Randolph walked. And Mattingly with a grand slam home run. Ball 3, 3-1. Suddenly Nunez having a little bit of a problem finding the strike zone. There is no activity in the Blue Jay bullpen.
Well, that's very good.
Very shortly there will be. And Pagliarulo takes it high and deep to right. Goodbye. It is gone. 2-run home run for Mike Pagliarulo, his 12th of the season, and the Yankees now lead it by a score of 10-4.
Every man the Blue Jays have walked tonight has crossed home plate. They walked 4. 4 of them have done it. And right there, Nunez getting behind, which he had been pitching so well, getting on top in the count, not going deep at all. Gets 3-1 right here to Pags. Fastball, short swing, put it on the board.
RBIs 37 and 38, and you see Barfield just looking back. No chance at all. 4th homer of the night for the Yankees. And here's Tolleson. And he fouls it back. Strike 1. 10 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 4 runs, 7 hits, errorless baseball for the Jays.
The 10-6 is at 4 walks.
Curveball knocked down by Gruber. He not even going to throw. So Tolleson reaches. The way to call from the official.
Should be an error. Kelly more or less trying to backhand it, but also stab it at the same time.
The left fielder, number 24, Ricky Henderson.
So the error to Gruber. First error of the ball game for the Blue Jays. And Ricky Henderson will step in. Henderson 0 for 3. Line deep to center field in his first at bat, then popped to short and bounced to third. Ball 1. Mark Eichhorn up in the Blue Jay bullpen. Yankees with a 10-4 lead. Cecilio Guante will come on to pitch the 6th inning.
Now you're going to see Jimmy Williams unload all his left-handers now with that Gale going out there to right field. But also, it'll just be in the 6th inning. And Lou's still got 2 left-handers down there in that pen.
One wears number 19. And the other fellow's pitched pretty well, named Pat Clements.
Oh, he's done a good job. Fine job. This is one of those guys out there in Nunez that the right-handers really pull hard for the left-handed hitters. Get him out of there.
Ricky Henderson back in the lineup for the first time since June the 4th. Charlie Moore's taking a couple of wicked ones off the mask tonight. Whew.
That'll rattle your incisors there, Charles. You know, in baseball, there's 2 bells, and that was one of them.
Yep. You know, he used to take some wicked ones. Hasse. Hasse takes some wicked ones. The guys used to get on Ron Hasse because it was, you know, they knew he was getting hurt, but he'd taken in the strangest places.
Well, Hasse's a big guy. You know, he's wide, so he's going to occupy more space than most of the average catchers that get back there.
He'd always come out of it with a smile on his face and say, well, I did it to myself again. 2-2. Yankees with Henderson in the lineup, Mattingly in the lineup against the Blue Jays. As many times, Hawk, you can answer this. Many times the ball club will say to themselves, well, we didn't have 2 of our best players in there. The last time we played this ball club, that's strike 3 on the foul tip. This game becomes very important because they're in here tonight. And a poor effort tonight could be a disheartening thing for a ball club.
What do you want me to answer for? You just answered it.
Okay. All right, but you've been out there. You've been out there.
I thought you did a good job right there answering that. Kid?
You know, as many times people don't alibi for themselves, but people do alibi for themselves. And without the 2 best ball players in the club, the Yankees need this one. They need to do well in this series. Here's a pitch in.
Well, winning is so, it's just so mental. I mean, it really is. Because if you look at, now obviously Toronto has a lot of talent. Yankees have a lot of talent. The Tigers have a lot of talent. And what it really boils down to is who wants it the most. Little looper right out there into short center field. That'll drop as Talley will scoot on over to third base. So runners at the corners with 2 gone. And here comes a man who was not in that first 3-game set.
That's right, Mr. Mattingly.
And with 1 swing of the bat, in case you just joined us, with 1 swing of the bat, he drove in more runs tonight with 1 swing of the bat than the Yankees scored in the whole 3 games back at Yankee Stadium.
The Yankees outscored in that series 22-3.
But your psychological point is well taken because of the fact, you see, Toronto will not look at it that way. They will, in their own minds, I told you, they have a young mentality. They'll just say, well, we beat the Yankees. Now, the Yankees are obviously going to say, well, we didn't have 2 of our studs in there. So it's a chess game. It's a mental chess game of the tug of war. And who can, it's like a Cold War, so to speak, with the rhetoric and everything else and the thought processes.
And it goes on, even when things are not said. It's just a whole mental game that takes place. 0-1 to Mattingly. Up the middle, base hit. He has his 5th RBI of the ball game as Tollison crosses the plate, and Randolph will hold at second, and the Yankees lead it now by a score of 11-4. Young Nunez threw 4 beautiful innings, but either from fatigue or whatever, he is getting racked around here.
And here comes the manager, so he won't get racked around anymore, as Mark Eichhorn will be making his way out. But the big thing, too, as we talked about, with the absence of Mattingly, it's certainly the performance is there. You know there's going to be a level of performance there. But the intangible was the big thing, I thought. His presence, his leadership. That was the big thing. But getting back to Jose Nunez, a young 24-year-old right-hander, he did well tonight. He pitched well. He's got a good arm. And while we have a chance, a reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Now, any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and Sports Channel is a no-no.
Well, we're going to be with you again tomorrow night. Yankees continuing the series with the Blue Jays. You can catch all the action, the Yankees and the Blue Jays, tomorrow at 7:30 on SportsChannel-plus. It'll be Ron Guidry against the rookie, David Wells. Right here, the Yankees leading at 11-4 as we play the 6th inning. And Mark Eichhorn will come on to make his 42nd appearance. The right-hander comes into the ballgame with a record of 8-3 and a 3.66 ERA.
I don't care who it was. The big man on deck is glad to see that young right-hander out of there.
That young right-hander did a number on the Yankees, going 4 1/3, giving up 3 hits, but no hits until this inning. 3 runs, responsible for the 2 runners aboard. He walked 1, struck out 5.
Just 2 earned. That error by Gruber. So regardless of what they do, he's given up 2 earned runs in his outing. And another thing, too, is that certainly for tomorrow, it takes him out of play. And with that arm and that ability like that, he will not be available in that pen tomorrow. So that's nothing but a plus.
And all they've got left are Eichhorn and Henke and Musselman.
Well, that's quite, yeah, right. I'll tell you, that kid Musselman, he just keeps. What are his numbers? What has he done? I'll tell you, he has got some of the best stuff. He reminds me so much of that Mark Langston. As I said, he's a little wild yet, but he's got a record of about 6-1. Wow, I didn't know he'd done that well. 274 Erie. He got a chance.
Yep. Well, here's Winfield against Eichhorn, with the Yankees leading in the ball game by a score of 11-4. 3 runs on the board here in this frame. Eichhorn making a second appearance against the Yankees in a 7-2 win at the stadium. He went 2/3 of an inning, and he really didn't have his good stuff. Kittle and Cotto hit back-to-back home runs. That accounted for 2/3 of the Yankee runs in that 3-game series. Winfield, big 2-run homer tonight in the first inning. Got the Yankees off and running. And then Nunez struck him out twice. Outside corner.
Well, one of the things too now, as we talked about how the Blue Jays will feel, they coming into this ball game, they didn't even think about the absence of Mattingly and Henderson. But now after this ball game, when they go home tonight or driving home from this ballpark, and that's one reason you really like to see one of the 2 of them or both of them have big nights, is because indeed now they will think about it.
Hey, this is a different team we're playing tonight. Fouled away at the plate. 1-2.
Boy, Boston's really hurting Baltimore. Grand slam home run by Wade Boggs. His 12th of the year. Red Sox leading that one 12-2.
Willie Randolph down at second. Don Mattingly on at first. 5 RBIs tonight for the Yankee first baseman. A grand slam homer and that single right here. The count to Winfield, 1-2. He got it. Bat goes flying. Winfield has struck out a 3rd time, and the side is retired. But not before the Yankees add 3 runs on 3 base hits. Mike Pagliarulo had himself a 2-run homer. There was a Blue Jay error, and the Yankees lead 2 through 5.5. Yankees 11, Toronto 4. Critics are saying about the new video cassette release of the New York Yankees, the movie. Packed tight with almost 2 hours of heroes and thrills from 8 decades of Yankee greatness. Now, to obtain your video cassette copy, send a check or money order for $29.95 plus $5 for postage and handling to New York Yankees, the movie. Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451, or call toll free 1-800-228-2323. Cecilio Guante will come on in relief of Dennis Rasmussen, making his 21st appearance of the season. Cecilio with an ERA of 4.58 and a record of 3-2. Will face Kelly Gruber. So Guante, whose last appearance, a very impressive one in that wild Friday night marathon against the Red Sox, in which the Yankees won 12-11, coming from that 9-0 deficit. Cecilio gave the Yankees 3 1/3 innings of shutout, 1-hit ball, walking 1, striking out 3. Very key factor in that ball game. Gruber is 0 for 2 tonight. Pop to short and fly to left. And he pops this one up. Back comes Cerrone, may have a play, and right in front of the screen puts it away for the first out. So Gruber's retired. He's now 0 for 3. Dennis Rasmussen, as we watch Gruber again, just get underneath this one. And Cerrone with just enough room to put it away. Rasmussen goes 5 innings, gives up 7 hits, 4 runs, walks 1, strikes out 3, and at this stage, the pitcher of record on the positive side. An opportunity for win number 7. And this one is stroked deep to right by Upshaw, and Winfield doesn't even turn. Goodbye. Home run for Willie Upshaw, his 10th of the year, and we've got an 11-5 ball game. Been a good year thus far for the Blue Jay first baseman. And he really cranks this one up.
Yeah, no sense in wasting any energy. He's just going to give it a peek, see how far it went. That ball got out of here in a hurry and a long way.
So Upshaw now with a double and a home run. It's 11-5. Ernie Wood's going to come on as a pinch hitter here for Charlie Moore. As Jimmy Williams starts moving his left-handers into the lineup. Wood hitting at .247 with 5 home runs, 27 RBIs, and smacks this one foul. With Charlie Moore in the ball club now, Witt getting that extra day of rest here and there, which has got to help him. Down through the hot days of summer into the fall. 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. He called it a strike. Third base umpire Harold Cousin signaled he went around. Took a long time.
Darryl must not like Ernie.
I don't think Ernie's too crazy about him. And Jimmy Williams is out to argue that call. Jimmy Williams may get himself thrown out right here.
He's probably already gone. He can't come out to argue that.
That's right. He's arguing a strike. No indication is made. And Cousin just standing there with his arm crossed. Williams will head back.
Darryl really not into that argument right there.
No, but I
just
think
looked at him and told him, go grab some bench, will you? You're out of here.
The count is 1-2 to Witt. That's pop foul just a bit to our left. 11 runs, 8 hits for the Yankees, 1 error, but 4 of the 8 hits have been home runs. Blue Jays 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Base hit, right field. So Ernie Witt singles to right in a pinch hitting role. And the Blue Jays not ready to lie down here. They scored a run. They have a runner aboard. There's only 1 out in the 6th inning, and we got a long way to go yet. Rance Mullenix on as a pinch hitter now. And Jimmy Williams coming with all his left-handed bats. Mullenix will stay in the ball game, as will Ernie Witt. And the pitch fouled away.
The injection for Williams was his 4th of the season, number 4.
That's the 4th time this year Williams been thrown out of a ball game. Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yankees leading 11-5. We're in the 6th inning. In a ball game that has featured long ball. 6 home runs, 4 for the Yankees, 2 for the Jays. Mattingly, who was screened by Witt on the play.
He's saying he's claiming interference. Don is. He's claiming interference.
And Pinella's coming out, and he's going to argue.
I think he's got a good case right there. He's playing behind him. If he's playing in front of him.
Kenny Kaiser coming over.
They're trying to, that's what Kaiser looked like he was saying. He's trying to determine which way, where he was playing. Let's take another look right here. There's no question about the screen, but was there contact? Well, Henry couldn't see it.
I think they may be contending if there was contact that was inadvertent, as Witt
That makes a difference.
Witt was trying to get out of the way of the ball.
That makes a difference if you're feeling the ball. As I said, first of all, Henry can't see. Kenny Kaiser had a better shot, and he's the one that came over and made the call.
So runners at 1st and 2nd. Fernandez now turns around. He will bat left-handed. We've got activity in the Yankee bullpen. The Yankees with an 11-5 lead, and the Blue Jays threatening to make this one close once again. A big 3 runs for the Yankees in the 6th inning. Looming more and more important pitch by pitch. Randolph, this could be 2. There's 1, but coming into second base flying.
Willie couldn't get it out of his glove. That's what cost him the double play.
So
couldn't get the grip on it.
The center fielder, number 15, Lloyd.
Ball not hit hard, but hard enough to turn the pair. But right there, you can see he just couldn't get the handle.
And no throw from Tollison. 2 men away. And Lloyd Mosby at the plate. Runners at 1st and 3rd. A run in for Toronto. Bottom of the 6th, 11-5 New York. Ball 1.
This is a big out right here. This is a big out. There's going to probably be a couple more home runs here.
Yeah.
Who's just according to what uniform is going to hit them.
Down low. 2-0. A home run right here changes the whole complexion of this ball game. 11-5, Yankees lead. Bottom of the 6th. Blue Jays have out hit the Yankees 10-8. Fernandez on at 1st. Around at 3rd base, Ernie Witt. There's a strike, 2-1. Mosby 1 for 3 tonight, singled back in the 1st inning, and scored on a wild pitch by Rasmussen. Witt leading away from 3rd. goes. Right field. Winfield back to the wall. Goodbye. Well, Mr. Mosby answers with a 3-run home run, and once again we've got a 3-run ball game, 11-8 New York. For Mosby, his 13th home run of the season, and Tim Stoddard's going to come in from the bullpen.
Oh boy, now that little double play looks a lot bigger. He didn't hit it hard, just off the end of the bat, got it up just enough to get it up in that air and just over the fence, as you'll see. Oh boy, a big double play now.
So Cecilio Guante able to go only 2/3 of an inning. He gives up 4 runs, 2 home runs, 3 base hits, no walks, no strikeouts. A solo homer by Upshaw, a base hit by Moore, base hit by Witt, that is. Mullenix follows with a hit, and the force play, and then the 3-run homer by Mosby. And it brings on Tim Stoddard. Don't go away.
No, there'll be some more scoring in this ball game. Again, it's just what color is going to do the scoring.
Stoddard coming on here for his 23rd appearance of the year, an ERA of 3.55. Pitched an inning in Saturday's victory over the Red Sox in his last outing. Matter of fact, Stoddard has not given up a run now in his last 6 appearances. Look at that scoreboard. Like a pinball machine. They're ringing it up with big numbers tonight. 11-8, the Yankees lead in runs. The Blue Jays about hit them 11-8. Stoddard making his 2nd appearance of the year against the Blue Jays in Toronto's 11-0 win at the stadium earlier this month. The game Steve threw the shutout. He went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits and 2 runs, and struck out 2. And he comes on here to face Jesse Barfield, who's had a tough night, 0 for 3, struck out twice. Ball 1. The Yankees getting to Nunez in that 6th inning for 3 runs after the youngster had retired 12 in a row. The lead not insurmountable, though. 11-4 has quickly become 11-8. 2-0. That's fouled back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now tonight we're not seeing a couple of boxers tonight. We're seeing a bunch of punchers.
That wind, well, the wind has just really played havoc with a couple of balls hit out there that have resulted in a couple of home runs. One for the Yankees and one for the Blue Jays.
Yankees have hit 4 homers. Blue Jays have smacked 2 in this inning. Total of 3 for the ball game. Tollison makes the nice play, throws out Barfield, side retire, but the Blue Jays are back in the ball game. They put 4 on the board. 3-run homer by Mosby, solo shot by Upshaw, and through 6. Don't go away. We've got a good one. 11-8 Yanks. We're going to the 7th inning here at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. Rance Mullenix remains in the ball game after pinch hitting. Stays at 3rd base, his normal position. Kelly Gruber, who had been at 3rd, goes over to 2nd. And Ernie Witt is behind the plate. And Gary Ward takes ball 1. 11-8 is the score. We're playing the 7th inning.
Man, it's like going down the rapids of the Colorado River. Get in.
Without a paddle.
Just put that seatbelt on and hang on, kid. Because you're going to get wet. You know that. Just hope you don't drown.
Eichhorn with that sidearm breaking ball. So tough on the right-handed batters. 1-2. He came on to strike out Winfield and retire the side in the 6th.
Jeff Musselman starting to loosen up down in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. A very talented young southpaw. There he is. Boy, he's got some good stuff.
The Harvard man. 2-2. Sounded like he broke his back.
Yeah, well, the end of it.
George Bell is there. And Ward retired for the first out here in the 7th. Ward 0 for 3 now with a walk. Ron Kittle will step in. Back in the 1st inning after the 2-run home. We're going to get a pinch hitter right now. Claudell Washington
For the designated hitter.
will hit for Ron Kittle. But Kittle back in that 1st inning with a 2-run inside the park home run.
18, Claudell Washington.
Claudell with a batting average of .301, 4 homers, 23 RBIs.
Lou right here has got to be just a little bit careful in this situation because he's got the 3-run lead. And you got Musselman down there. Now with Henke, it really doesn't make any difference what kind of a staggering or stacking up of the order that you want to go to. But with Musselman, it certainly does. That's why at this particular point, say the game was still tied, there's still an edge right now to the Yankees as far as balance and controlling the other guy's bench because of the bullpen.
Blue Jays have made a host of moves already. 2-0. I'll check it 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes to Claudell Washington. The Yankees got 4 in the 1st, homers by Winfield and Kittle. Jays got 3 in the 1st, a 2-run homer by Fielder. Mattingly's grand slammer in the 2nd made it 8-3. It is now 11-8 New York. Kelly Gruber at 2nd base, and Washington retired easily. 2 men out here in the 7th.
Yeah, Eichhorn doesn't throw a whole bunch up there. Everything he does throw is moving. Slow, slower, and slowest. Curveball. Here he just turns it over from underneath.
Number 6, Rick Serrano.
But these are the kind of guys we mentioned. We saw yesterday with Al Nipper. These kind of guys that give the Yankees just fits.
He put Al Nipper, Eichhorn, and Dwayne Bice.
Cy Bice. Cy Young Bice.
Cy Bice. I tell you, he's picked up 6 saves already.
Yeah, well, he's made a believer out of me.
Yeah.
It was worse than that. He's made a believer out of some of those Yankee hitters.
We learned how to pronounce his name, too. Oops. Got away from Eichhorn there. 2-0. B-U-I-C-E when you see it in the box score. Dwayne Bice for the California Angels. And they are getting some pitching now. Jerry Royce has won a couple for him.
What, giving up 1 run since he's been in the league and 2 starts, 1 shutout.
Mullenix at 3rd. Good throw. Yankees go down 1-2-3 here in the 7th as Eichhorn sets him down. 7th inning stretch time here at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Canada, with the Yankees leading by a score of 11-8.
Ministry of Tourism and Recreation as they lead us in a series of
Channel Tonight Studios. Hope you're enjoying tonight's Yankees curtain call. We've got distasteful news for Yankees fans. Co-captain Willie Randolph will be out at least 3 weeks. Willie started at 2nd base in the All-Star game last night, but was placed on the 21-day disabled list today with torn cartilage in his left knee. He'll undergo arthroscopic surgery on Friday. He was batting .309. He's having the best year of his career. It is not a new injury. He has had it for quite some time. The doctor says get it fixed now rather than wait for trouble later in the season. So Willie Randolph will be out at least 3 weeks. The Yanks filled his roster spot with Steve Trout, the pitcher they just picked up over the weekend in a trade. We'll have all the details on that move and a few others on New York Sports Nightly following tonight's Yankees curtain call rebroadcast. See you then.
Bottom of the 7th inning here in Toronto. 11-8, the Yankees lead it. Tim Stoddard, third Yankee pitcher of the evening. Dennis Rasmussen went 5, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs. Cecilio Guante came in with an 11-4 lead, gave up 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning. A solo homer by Upshaw, a 3-runner by Mosby. That brought on Stoddard, who got Barfield to retire the side, and here's George Bell. Ball 1. The top 2 teams in the American League East. It's easy to say at this stage, oh, they're going to battle down to the wire. Willie Randolph can't hold on to that one. That was sucked. And a base hit for Bell to lead it off here in the 7th inning.
Willie either lost it or just couldn't get the jump on it. He could have caught this one. This ball is a wicked line shot off the fastball outside part of the plate. Looked like he just didn't pick it up.
So Bell is on. Again, as I was saying, it's easy to say, oh, they're going to battle right down to the wire. But I'll tell you, I think they're going to battle right down to the wire. That's not a cliche. These two teams are evenly matched in so many categories. Great deal of talent on both sides. Lou Pinella's coming out. Fred McGriff has been announced.
And here comes Clemens.
And Clemens is up and ready and coming on. So Stoddard pitches a 1/3 of an inning. Gives up 1 base hit, responsible for George Bell on, and the chess game continues as Pat Clemens comes in from the bullpen. Fred McGriff, who had that big home run against the Yankees at the stadium back earlier this month.
Man, talking about next month and the stadium, the Yankees have a grand celebration planned for the stadium over the 4th of July weekend. On Thursday and Friday nights, July 2nd and 3rd, the Yankees host the Texas Rangers, and after Friday's game, the Wilson Sporting Goods Company presents a spectacular Grucci fireworks show. Now, on Saturday, the 4th of July, game time is 2:20. And after that 2:20 game, Pepsi presents the Thornapple Valley Hot Dogs Concert Series featuring Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine in concert. Now, on Sunday, July 5th, well, that one's for the kids. It's Gatorade Yankee Baseball Glove Day. Yankee tickets are on sale at the stadium's advanced ticket windows, which are open 7 days a week from 9 to 5, or through Ticketmaster. You just dial 212-293-6000 for more information. July 5th, Gatorade Yankee Baseball Glove Day. July 4th, Pepsi presents the Thornapple Valley Hot Dog Concert Series featuring Miami Sound Machine. And on July 3rd, that spectacular Grucci fireworks show. Big 4th of July weekend coming your way at Yankee Stadium.
Well, here is Pat Clemens. So I'll tell you, we've had a lot of fireworks tonight here in this ball game. 11-8 to score. What a difference with Pat Clemens. As we go back to the beginning of the year when he couldn't get the ball over the plate, Yankees shipped him out to Columbus. Since coming back on June the 5th, Clemens has appeared in 10 ball games, pitched a total of 13 innings, given up 1 run, an ERA of .69, and he's walked only 1, and that was intentional. And that was his big problem before he went down. The bases on balls.
You're right.
And here we go. He will pitch to Fred McGriff. Down low for a ball. Yankees lead 11-8. Dangerous man, Fred McGriff, hitting at .254, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. 2-0. George Bell leading from first base. Base on balls here will bring the tying run to the plate. There's no activity in the Yankee bullpen. Ball 4 as Clemens walks McGriff on 4 straight pitches. And Lou Piniella looking on with great concern, as well he might have at this
Well,
stage.
certainly. I mean, you thought about it last inning. I'm sure all the viewers out there thought about it last inning. What if? What if, in fact, the Blue Jays come back and win this ball game? If you're talking about a psychological thing, I'll tell you what, it would hurt. No question about that.
Just as we were saying when it was 11-4, how positive it could be for the Yankees to beat the Blue Jays with Mattingly and Henderson. For the Blue Jays to win this one, a biggie indeed. But the Yankees still up by 3, and here is Kelly Gruber. Ball 1. The Yankee bullpen is quiet. Mark Conador is going to come out and talk to Pat Clemens, who has come out and thrown 5 straight balls.
Pat has good movement, so he's going to tell him, don't try to be too fine. Don't rush out there. Stay back. The more he stays back with his delivery, the more movement he'll get on the ball. Now, if he tries to overthrow, what'll happen is it'll straighten out on him. It'll stay on the bat, and he can get hit hard. But if he just stays within himself, stays back, he's got real good sinking action on his fastball.
The count to Gruber is 1-0.
And Righetti up and throwing, and this is one of the things that you really hate to see too. Here it is, the bottom of the 7th. You've gone through Guante, Stoddard, Clemens out there now. You got Righetti down in the pen, so this could turn out to be, even if in fact if it stays tough, even if the Yankees win, a tough evening on their pen.
Let's see what he does on 2-0. This is 3-0. Clemens has come on after Bell had singled off Stoddard to walk Fielder on 4 pitches. He is now behind 3-0 to Kelly Gruber, who represents the tying run. 11-8, the Yankees by 3. Righetti up in the bullpen, and Clemens with some serious problems right here.
Well, it's not good. That seems to be just a little confused out there right now, and that's what'll happen. You go out there, you throw 4 or 5 in a row for balls. Now, in this case, he's thrown 7. Sometimes it'll give you a brain cramp.
Oh, yeah. Timeout called. Yankees led 11-4. It's now 11-8. Strike 1 on the inside corner to Kelly Gruber. Big strike right there. He lost him. Ball 4. The bases are loaded with Blue Jays as Pat Clemens has come on, and for the first time since his recall from Columbus, he has just not had it. He has walked back-to-back batters, and he will leave, and Dave Righetti will come on. And we're in the bottom of the 7th. That's another negative aspect to bring Righetti on this early, and there ain't hardly anybody left.
It's him.
And there are still 2 more games left in this series. This is something Lou Piniella most certainly did not want to happen. He has used 5 pitchers tonight, and here comes Righetti. Clemens pitches to 2 batters, walks them both. Bases loaded. The go-ahead run will be coming to the plate, Willie Upshaw. And all he did was homer at his last at bat.
Yeah, the relief pitching has not been sparkling this evening.
On the other side of the coin, as we look at Righetti, the Blue Jays got some good work from the youngster Nunez. Before he tired in the 6th inning, he'd retired 12 in a row. Pagliarulo homered. And before you know it, the Yankees put 3 on the board. And here is Righetti. Well, Yankees and the Blue Jays, you wanted excitement? You got it.
I didn't want this much.
Well,
I liked it when it was 11-4.
You liked 11-4. Righetti with a 4.63 ERA, a record of 4-3. Becomes the 5th Yankee pitcher of the evening.
Well, regardless of what happened, the Yankees still got 2 more ABs out there, 6 more outs.
And at this point for the Yankees, they still got a 3-run lead.
For some reason, though, you get a feeling that they're going to lose it. This is a 3-run lead I'm talking about.
When you say something like they got 2 more ABs,
that's right?
Yeah.
It's just
like they got to come
that's just the
from
way
behind.
the momentum of this game's going.
It has shifted, there's no doubt. It's down at 3rd, it's George Bell. At 2nd base, Fred McGriff. And at 1st base, Kelly Gruber. The bases are loaded. There is nobody out. And Dave Righetti has 3 lefties to face. Upshaw, Witt, and Mullinex. 11-8 New York. Willie Upshaw 2 for 3 tonight. Doubled a drive homer run in the 4th and socked one over the right field wall in his last at bat. Bounce to 2nd. Randolph puts the tag on. The throw, not in time. And Purnell is hot.
He's hot.
Let's take a look at this one.
Willie feels like the only way he's going to get it is go ahead and make the tag right there. Oh, Gruber. Take another angle. It's going to be a close play. From up here, it looked like it was a very close play.
Might get a better look right here.
No, couldn't tell.
No, he did. Runners now at 1st and 3rd. A run is in. It is 11-9. And Ernie Witt, who singled in his last at bat as a pinch hitter, takes ball 1. Fred McGriff at 3rd. Willie Upshaw at 1st, 1 man out, bottom of the 7th, 11-9 Yankees. Up the middle, Randolph bobbles the ball. Everybody's safe for runs in. It's 11-10.
Looked like Willie tried to do a little too much with it. Had a long way to go, but still a play that he should make right there, he just loses it. Just that simple. I'll tell you, it's been the first tough game all year that he's had at 2nd base. He's had a tough night out there tonight.
The error on Randolph. Still only 1 man out, and the Blue Jays have the tying run down at 2nd base. Willie Upshaw. Ernie Witt is at 1st, and Manny Lee will come on as a pinch hitter for Mullinex. Means Gruber will most probably move back to third, and Lee will come into the ballgame to play second. Wow. Ball one. Manny Lee hitting at .264 with 5 RBIs, a double and a triple. No home runs.
No, I just tease him a little bit, that's all.
This goes beyond that, Hawk. That's fouled away. 1-1. Manny Lee, another player of the future for the Blue Jays. Another youngster from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lee. Upshaw's down at second. Witt is on at first. 11-10 Yankees. Bottom of the 7th. And it's inside ball 2, 2-1. Dave Righetti, the 5th pitcher of the evening for the Yankees. Rasmussen, Guante, Stoddard, and Clemens. The plot thickens. Every Yankee pitcher has given up at least a run. Rasmussen 4, Guante 4, Stoddard 1, and Clemens 1. Pitch sloped to the right field. There's a base hit. Winfield up. It's thrown to the plate, and Upshaw will hold at third. The bases are loaded with Blue Jays.
When you get deep in that count, 3-1, you got to come with a fastball strike. A lot of guys are going to get base hits. There he just shoots it right out in the right field, and at that point, Upshaw had no chance.
But the Blue Jays most certainly do. Upshaw's at third. There's still only 1 man out. Ernie Witt's down at second. Manny Lee out at first. Fernandez at the plate. Upshaw may have hurt himself coming down to third. Reason for the delay right here. Tony Fernandez 1 for 4 in the ball game.
That'd have been a cramp or a little hamstring.
You don't get the feeling at this point that Upshaw is going to leave. He's all right. Toronto has put 2 on the board here in the bottom of the 7th to narrow the gap to 11-10. 11 runs, 8 hits for the Yankees, 10 runs, 13 hits for the Blue Jays. Strike 1. Righetti trying to bail the Yankees out of this jam right here. We're only in the bottom of the 7th. Rich Bordy's gotten up in the bullpen now.
Musselman and Henke have gotten up in the Blue Jay pen.
Got the outside corner, 0-2. This is a big man right here with a tying run down at third base and less than 2 men out. Didn't go around, says first base umpire Ted Hendry. 1-2.
Good hard slider by Rags coming in.
Tell you, if Witt went around, he went around.
Oh, yeah.
And Witt didn't go around. This is fouled away to the right side. 1-2 to Tony Fernandez. Bases on balls, 2 of them by Pat Clements. Bell led off with a base hit off Stoddard. Clements came on, walked McGriff and Gruber. Upshaw hit into a force play to drive home 1. Witt's ground ball, bobbled by Randolph, another run scored. And then Manny Lee singles to right to load him up. The 1-2 pitch, stroke left field, foul ball. Musselman on the right, and that big fella is the man they call the Terminator, Tom Henke. Upshaw down at third. Witt at second. Lee from first. 11-10 Yankees, bottom of the 7th. Righetti. Right field, base hit. Upshaw scores. Witt rounds third. He's being waved on in, and down to second base on the throw in goes Fernandez, and the Blue Jays put 2 on the board and lead it 12-11.
Not a whole bunch to it, just goes the opposite way, slaps it out there in the right field, and that's with the bases loaded, going to get a couple home. As he races on into second base. And boy, those walks and a couple of miscues at second base, last inning and this inning, have really hurt. Big hurt.
And it's not over yet. Here is Mosby. One and 0. Second and third. There's only one man out. 12-11 Toronto. Blue Jays have come from an 11-4 deficit. Bounced foul past Mattingly. Yankees with the infield in. They cannot afford to have Lee score from third base. So they've got them all drawn in. Of course, the danger of bringing the infield in on this artificial surface. Doesn't take much to get it by it. Two and 1 to Mosby. Back-to-back 4-run innings for the Blue Jays after the Yankees had taken an 11-4 lead. Blew that one by him. 2-2. The near miss double play on the ground ball of Randolph, and then Willie's bobble on the ball off the bat of Witt. Two key plays here in this frame. Popped up. Ricky got a late jump, but comes on and makes the catch, and Manny Lee's not going anywhere. He'll hold it third, 2 men out. It's a big out right there. Keeps that runner at third.
The right fielder, number
The 2 men out, Jesse Barfield will step in.
Now you got Barfield there, you got Bell on deck. So it does give you, in respect, it does give you a bit of leeway as far as trying to make good pitches. With first base open, obviously, you know, either one you're going to go to is tough. But you do have the leeway of trying to make some good pitches right here.
Big cut by Barfield, strike one. Barfield's 0 for 4. He struck out twice. There's no need to tell you how dangerous this man is. Led the American League in home runs last year. Has 19 this season. And strokes it up the middle for a base hit. Lee will score. Rounding third, coming on in to score is Fernandez. And the Blue Jays lead it now by a score of 14-11. And they have batted around here in the 7th inning.
Well, that wasn't a good pitch. Fastball up over the plate. He's a high fastball hitter. Almost took Rags right on in center field with him. And the Blue Jays with 10 runs scored in the last 2 innings. (14-11) in favor of Toronto. 6 runs on 4 base hits here in this inning. 2 walks and an error. And George Bell, who led off this inning with a single to center field, takes ball 1. Three of the runs in this frame charged to Righetti, 2 to Clements, 1 to Stoddard. Pagliarulo, he may not have time to make a play, and he throws it into right field. Oh, it has come apart for the Yankees here in this 7th inning. And the 6th. 6th and 7th. That'll be a base hit. It was a tough play. Towson is not going to be able to throw out anybody there. Pags had to try to make the play. Made the bad throw. But again, the big play so far in this ball game was last inning. Double play ball by Tony Fernandez. That was bobbled at second base. Didn't turn it. And it allowed Mosby with a 3-run homer. Here at second base this inning. It's just been a tough 2 innings. And this inning continues. Fred McGriff, who walked as a pinch hitter in this inning, steps in and takes ball 1. Blue Jays with 16 hits in the ball game now. 1-1. Two. Yankees were up 11-4 going to the bottom of the 6th and unable to hold on to the lead. Swung on and missed, strike 3. But listen to this crowd, and they've got a lot to cheer about. Their Toronto Blue Jays have come back with 6 runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and will go to the 8th. Toronto 14, the Yankees 11. That's really a deceptive motion he has too. That leg comes flying. Boy, he sure reminds you a lot of Mark Langston of the Mariners when he gets ready to deliver, the way he clears so nicely there. He's sneaky. Loosey-goosey. At times, sometimes he has full extension. Other times looks like he's a bit of a short armor coming right out of his jersey, so he varies it. It's tough to pick up. Pagliarulo with a homer in his last at bat, and that's inside ball 4. So the Yankees will try and make an attempt to battle back here in the 8th inning. Again, go back to what we were talking about a couple of innings ago when the Yankees had the big lead, the psychological impact that the Yankee victory would have on this Toronto ball club now that Mattingly and Henderson are here, and the converse now could hold true.
the Blue Jays come from behind, and if they can hold on and win this one, it's a big positive for them.
Well, there's no doubt about it. It's as big a positive for them as it is a big a negative or a hurt for the Yankees.
Here's Tolleson taking strike one.
This is the kind of game right here that, you know, you could point to. We were talking about key games you can point to. The one on Friday night against the Red Sox when they came from that 9-0 deficit. Hopefully you'd be able to point to that in October and say, well, that was one of the games that got us started. On the other side of that page, though, is if you lose this ball game, this could be one of the games that you point to on the negative side.
Yankees.
We will see. This is the kind of game right here, though, Pards, that if you do blow it, you lose it, you'll see what this ball club's got in the next week or so.
Bounce to second. Manny Lee turns, gives to Fernandez. The return back, not a time. Tolleson beats it out.
Just not hit hard enough to turn it over.
So one man out. Tolleson reaches on the force play.
Number 24, Ricky.
And Ricky Henderson will step in. Ricky in his return to action tonight. First time since June the 4th. 0 for 4. Fly to center, popped to short, bounced to third, and struck out. 14-11 Toronto. Ball one. Mark Eichhorn. They said the pitcher of record, if they win this ball game, he will have won his 9th ball game of the season. A couple of years ago when the Blue Jays won the Eastern Division title, Dennis Lamp was the recipient of a lot of ball games in which he'd come in. Won 11 in a row. They'd come from behind and win it. And he really wasn't anywhere near as good a pitcher as the record showed. But a middle relief guy and a good ball club can pick up a lot of wins that way. Fouled away.
A lot of circumstances and kismet involved in that scenario. But yeah, you're right.
But Eichhorn's a heck of a pitcher.
He's done a good job.
Yeah. Two balls, one strike to Ricky Henderson. 2-2.
Looked like Ricky had a beef right there. And in this particular situation, that's a big pitch. Here's the fastball. Ball's outside.
2-2. Smacked foul.
Well, you could really nitpick this game if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
From either side. Umpires have definitely come into play in this ball game.
And as you said, both ball clubs have had their beefs, legitimate beefs. Timeout call. Jeff Musselman, 4th pitcher of the night for the Jays. John Cerruti started, went an inning and a third, gave up 5 hits and 8 runs. Kittle, an inside the Parker in the first inning for 2 runs. Winfield, a 2-runner. Mattingly had a grand slammer. Yankees led at 8-3 after 2. Bounced back to, oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. Musselman's hurt. He got hit. I'm not sure where, but right knee. He just told us. Oh, and he just went down in pain.
Ball hit hard by Ricky. He just didn't react. That's all. Just didn't react.
Well, We've talked about it, but that particular case, we've seen harder hit baseballs. It was just a matter of him not reacting as quickly as he might have. But boy, that's smart. So it just hit him right off the kneecap.
Nice hit, Ricky. It's sharp.
Have to hope the youngster is okay. Tom Henke's coming in from the bullpen. It's going to be it for Musselman.
Hey, Ricky, it's 11 o'clock. You gotta check in.
Yankees with runners at first and second. One man out. A 14-11 Toronto lead. Musselman's going to leave. He'll get a standing ovation. And that right leg just dangling. Yankees with runners at first and second. One man out here in the 8th inning. The Terminator, Tom Henke, is coming on, and he will face Willie Randolph in the 14-11 Toronto lead, and we'll get back to Toronto right after this. The 8th inning, and there is the big guy, Tom Henke, 6'5", 210 pounds. As he comes out, a record of 0-2. Forget the record. The ERA 2.70, and look at the saves. He's had 13 of them put on the board. One against the Yankees. This is third appearance of the year against New York. 2 1/3 innings pitched. Gave up 2 hits, no runs. Struck out 3, and he can most certainly strike him out.
Got a good fastball and a good forkball. Primarily a 2-pitch pitcher. Every now and then he'll come in with a breaking ball, but the last 10 days, 2 weeks, they've gotten to him a little bit.
Particularly his last outing over the weekend against Milwaukee in a game that the Blue Jays led. And Milwaukee rallied for 7 runs in the 8th inning. And an inning in the 3rd, he gave up 6 runs on 4 hits. Walked 4. And in his previous start against Detroit, in 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run. And that's not like the Tom Henke that you normally see. First pitch in to Randolph for a strike.
Every time I've ever seen Henke, he's had good control. That has been really his fort, his strong point. He's been able to spot it, throw strikes, did not get himself behind in the count.
57 strikeouts in 40 innings and only 13 walks. Foul away by Randolph. Randolph 2 for 3 tonight. He scored a couple of runs. He's walked. Yankees down 14-11, and Willie Randolph representing the tying run.
Just sitting here watching Don Mattingly on deck. He's just pacing around like a caged lion trying to get himself up. Just praying that Willie will stay out of the double play, give him a shot. Now he's starting to settle back in a little bit.
Count is 0-2 to Randolph. Willie laid off that one, 1-2.
Henke with a bit of an unusual motion. He starts off pretty good, and all of a sudden he almost like it's a catapult, and he just slings it at you.
And it comes flying up there. He got it. Randolph goes down swinging. Bottom dropped out of that one.
Boy, it's just a good hard sinker right there.
So 2 men are out. It is up to Mattingly. Grand slam home run back in the 2nd. RBI single in the 6th. So Mattingly in the ball game 2 for 4. Yankees trail 14-11 here in the top of the 8th. Runners at first and second. Ball 1. Tollison down at second. Henderson on at first.
And Henke definitely going to try to make Mattingly beat him the opposite way. That wind still blowing hard from left to right as it has been all evening long. It's been a big factor in this ball. In fact, everything's been a big factor in this ball game tonight. But it'll be awful hard for the left-handed hitter to go out of here to left field.
Wind blowing fiercely to the right side.
Well, I'll tell you, wish we had a little shot of that when he was just pacing around that on-deck circle trying to get himself up for it.
Bring that out.
2-0.
And this is what Don's got to do. He cannot be greedy. He's got to be patient. As pumped as he is right now, you got to sit back. Now he's waited him out. He's got a hit, 2-0. It's got to be right what he's looking for and where he's looking for it. Attaboy.
3-0. Winfield on deck. Runners at first and second. 2 men out.
I'd turn him loose.
Yeah. We shall see. A 3-0 count to Don Mattingly. Tom Henke, 5th pitcher of the night for the Jays. Strike one. 3-1. What a wild, crazy ball game. See Winfield on deck. Mattingly at the plate. The count is 3-1. Takes it left side foul. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Mattingly. 2 men out. 2 men on. Tolleson at second. Henderson at first.
And you get the feeling that this is the pitch of the game for the Yankees.
Could very well be. Ball 4. The bases are loaded. Everybody moves up a base. Tolleson to third. Henderson down to second. And Mattingly on at first base. With 2 men out. There you see him loaded up with New Yorkers.
And no way Henke was going to give in. No chance.
He would rather perhaps pitch to the right-hander. Dave Winfield. Winfield took one deep to center field for a home run back in the first inning. Since then, Nunez struck him out twice, and Eichhorn K'd him. So Winfield 1 for 4. Strike one.
Like that fork ball of Henke's. He's got the same motion with both of them. That's what makes both of them equally effective, and they complement one another so much.
Look at this, say goodbye. Grand slam home run for Dave Winfield. And the Yankees have come back. Put 4 on the board. It is now 15-14. Whoa. I'll tell you, he hits a homer in the first inning. The righties strike him out, and here he's up against their toughest righty with the bases loaded. And you say you don't believe it. I'll tell you.
Sweetness. Sweetness.
Big home run for number 31. And there are more than 45,000 here tonight. They're stunned.
Well, there's 45,002 counting up here in the booth, I'll tell you.
15-14. The Yankees lead it. And here's Ward. Takes ball 1. Don't go away, guys. Blue Jays still have 2 at bats.
And the Yankees still got some more lumber they can carry up there as well.
Second grand slam home run of the night for the New York Yankees. 7th time in his career Winfield has hit a grand slam home run, 4th as a Yankee.
I'll tell you, this season so far, I can see why attendance records have fallen. It has been, on either side of the page, exciting.
It's like an arena football score. 15-14. 3 balls, 1 strike to Gary Ward. Blue Jays came on with their ace. He strikes out Randolph. He's careful with Mattingly. He walks him. And Winfield smacks a grand slam home run, and the Yankees lead it 15-14.
Seems like when you hit 2 grand slams and 1 3-runner in a ball game, you ought to be right there.
Full count to Gary Ward. Winfield and Kittle with 2-run homers in the first. Mattingly the grand slam home run in the second. Pagliarulo a homer. Grand slam home run by Winfield here. Strike 3. Side retire. But the Yankees have battled back. 4 runs for the Yankees on only 2 base hits. The grand slam home run by Winfield. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. 15-14 Yankees.
Well, you're looking at the man of the hour right there. The big man, Dave Winfield, cranking his 2nd homer of the evening, his 18th of the year. Bases loaded, 2 out, 0-1 to count. Fastball up and out of here. That makes it 15-14 Yankees. In case you just tuned in, Yankees led it 11-4 at one time. Blue Jays scored 10 runs in 2 innings. And in between innings, is there now. Lou Piniella is going out to center field. Gary Ward was getting on home plate umpire Mark Johnson. And I believe it was over that 3-0 pitch. Ward thought it was down. They got into a hot and heavy argument. He did not get thrown out of the ball game. And then all of a sudden now Ward and Kaiser having some words. What a night.
Okay.
I say, what a night.
You took a look at that scoreboard, and you look at it real quickly. It's tough to figure out all those 6s and 4s and 3s. There's numbers upon numbers. And the Yankees, Henderson and Winfield, just trying to calm Gary Ward down.
It's the hottest he's been all year as an umpire. As I said, the umpires have definitely been a factor in this ball game tonight. Has the wind, has some funny bounces, has some bad plays. Look at that thing. The only thing that looks familiar to me up there on my golf cart would be that 6 under 7.
Home runs by the bushelful. Kelly Gruber will lead it off here. Dave Righetti has the lead now. He came on in the 7th inning, was unable to protect it. As the Blue Jays came from behind, sent 11 men to the plate. Pitch is in for a strike. So instead of being the pitcher of record on the losing side, Righetti now with an opportunity to become the pitcher of record on the positive side. Popped up, short center field. Ward comes on. Kelly Gruber's retired for the first out here in the 8th.
I want you to look at Kenny Kaiser. Kenny Kaiser all the way out there into straightaway center field, fairly deep. Boy, I'll tell you, that big man has been busting his fanny.
He's a good man.
Oh, he is. He's a good umpire. Now, he can get the pinky, don't get me wrong.
Well, I'll tell you, and when that little dispute broke out, he got right in the middle of it.
I'll tell you what he did. He stopped Mark Johnson from throwing Gary Ward out. That's what he did. Because Mark was going to throw him out, especially when Ward threw the helmet down.
Willie Upshaw takes a strike. Upshaw tonight has doubled and a homer. 2 RBIs, 3 RBIs. He got an RBI on the ground ball to Willie Randolph that Willie was unable to turn the double play on. Strike 2.
That's the farthest I've seen an umpire go out after a fly ball, and I don't know how long, with the exception of maybe the World Series.
Yeah, Kenny does his job.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's had his times, too. A little laid back, but I'll tell you, this year he's been right. He's been a Jim Dandy.
Oops. Runs one of the great dinners for youngsters up in the Rochester area each winter. A fun place to be. They get about 1,000 people out for it. That's pop foul out of play. 1-2 the count.
Well, we said at the top there was going to be a lot of scoring tonight unless somebody out there on the mound was very sharp. So far, nobody out there on the mound has been very sharp. As he bobbles, he'll get him. And there's 2 gone. And there's been a lot of scoring. 29 runs. 26 hits. Lord have mercy.
Willie Randolph at second, playing with that sore knee. He has had a tough night tonight.
It's the toughest night he's had all year defensively. No question about it.
The only pitchers have really sparkled to any extent, I'd have to say, Nunez. But he tired finally after retiring 12 in a row and gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 3 hits and 4 in the third. And Eichhorn pitched to 4 batters.
That's right.
Ball 1.
David's just going to try to wiggle his way through this inning in the third now.
Pitching tonight is a season high. The combination of 29 runs in the game.
Witt takes up high, 2-0. Witt came out as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning for Charlie Moore. He singled, scored a run, reached on an error in the 7th inning, got credit for an RBI.
He's 29 runs high in the American League this year. And it's apropos with these two clubs teeing it up when they got their players back on a windy night at Exhibition Stadium.
16 hits for the Blue Jays, 10 for the Yankees, 3 errors for New York, 1 for Toronto. Count goes 3-1 to Witt. Manny Lee on deck. He's the 3rd man to be in the 9th place in the batting order tonight for Toronto. I got to tell Kelly Gruber what position to go out to each inning. Doesn't know if he's playing 2nd or 3rd. Here's Randolph at 2nd. Side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Righetti as he settles down here in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th right now. It is still New York 15, Toronto 14. Spencer Ross, Ken Harrelson back here at Toronto's Exhibition Stadium in a ball game that right now is more than 3.5 hours old, but it has been one exciting evening. Claudel Washington will lead it off for the Yankees. He takes strike 1. 15-14. Yankees lead it.
Usually in a situation like this, when you're leading by a run in the 9th inning, you'd like to think, let's get one more. In this case, let's get 6 or 7 more.
And hope it'll be enough. 1-1. See, Claudel came into this ball game as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning for Kittle and bounced out to 2nd. Manny Lee at 2nd base now. Kelly Gruber started the game at 3rd, went to 2nd for a couple innings. He's back at 3rd now. 3-1 to Claudel. Maybe an idea of earned run averages. Now they can be deceiving. Tom Henke, prior to his last outing against Milwaukee, had a 1.39 ERA. And then gave up those 6 runs in an inning and a third, and his ERA jumped up to 2.70. Let me know how many saves the relievers have. Let me know how many times they fail in save appearances. That's the important number. Full count. High fly ball left field. George Bell. 1 man out.
And in case you're looking at Toronto coming up in the 9th inning, the scheduled hitters are Manny Lee, Tony Fernandez, and Lloyd Mosby. So that would be very expeditious and very wise if Righetti could get them 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, because the guys who follow
Barfield and Bell.
Rick Cerrone takes strike 1. Cerrone 0 for 3 tonight. He's also walked and scored a run. This one's going to drop. Left center field, base hit. Bell comes over, and Cerrone has his first base hit of the ball game. Yankees 11th of the night.
Third
15-14, the Yankees lead.
Just a little duck snort right there, hit right off the fist by Cerrone. And Rick aboard. Bag's got to dial it up a little bit, sit on dead red.
Bags with a single, a home run. He struck out and walked. Takes ball 1. 2-0. Medford Mike Pagliarulo.
Oh, good rip. Good hack at a fastball from Henke. You know, we were talking about Michael the other night, having some dinner, and I don't think I've ever seen a hitter who, I mean, it's just a battle every time he goes to the plate. Yeah, he grinds and battles and grinds and works and grinds and.
Intense.
Intensity really is the word. I don't think I've ever seen a more intense hitter at the plate. And I think it's one of his problems. I think he carries it to the extreme sometimes, you know, instead of trying to relax a little bit more.
Take strike two. There were times last year after that hamstring where he really should have taken it easy and rested it a little bit, but he just doesn't know how to rest.
He's got one speed, flat out.
That's right. Which is a positive thing, but sometimes you have to know when to pull back.
It can be harmful too.
Runner's going, and Rick Cerrone is out at second base. That's a strikeout, throw out, double play.
I think they missed them both. I think they missed the pitch to Mike and the play at second. Take another look. Mike thought the ball was not. You can see his reaction. It looked like Cerrone from up here got his hand in before the tag as he had to take. He did, in fact. He was there. You couldn't see it from there, but you see the pitch to Michael. Let's look at it from back here.
Oh, he was safe.
Yeah, he got his hand in.
Doesn't matter. Side's retired. We're going to the bottom of the ninth inning here in Toronto. Yankees lead it 15-14. We're going to the bottom of the ninth inning here at Toronto's Exhibition Stadium, and it all rests on the shoulders of the left-hander out of the bullpen, Dave Righetti. The Yankees lead it by a score of 15-14. Toronto had rallied for 6 runs in the 7th inning. Righetti came on, could not put out the fire that was started by Stoddard and then Clements. And suddenly the Yankees, who led it 11-4, were down in the ball game, 14-11. But a grand slam home run by Winfield, the second homer of the night, made it 15-14 in the top of the 8th. Righetti retired the Jays 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the 8th, but now he has to face Lee, Fernandez, and Mosby. With Bobby Lamelo follow. Pitch inside for a ball. Manny Lee pinch hit in the 7th inning and single to right. And should those righties get an opportunity, that man's getting ready.
He's been throwing for a while. He's ready.
Rich Bordy, 2-0.
Meanwhile, the business at hand is number 4. Little guy right there. Got a base hit off Righetti back in the 7th inning when he pinch hit. Big out.
Strike one, 2-1. Righetti came on after Clements had walked a couple. The bases were loaded. Nearly got a double play ball out of Upshaw. Randolph making the tag to the runner coming down the line, and then the error by Randolph. 2-2.
This game surpasses the Friday night game with highs and lows and emotional value, so to speak. This has been the biggest one we've had all year as far as both ways, momentum and emotion.
Up, down. Strike 3. Righetti strikes out Manny Lee. 1 man out here in the 9th.
Good breaking ball by Rags. Had it coming from the outside in.
Tony Fernandez.
I love it. I tell you, I've had I don't even, you know, it didn't even seem like this game is anywhere near as long as it's been. Not even close.
It's approaching 4 hours. Now low to Fernandez. 2 hits for Fernandez tonight. He's 2 for 5. Now has 92 hits for the season. 2-0. Again, Righetti falls behind. Fell behind the lead 2-0. Came back to strike him out. Yankees 15, Blue Jays 14. And he is behind 3-0 to Tony Fernandez. Lloyd Mosby on deck. Barfield to follow. Ball 4. Fernandez walks on 4 pitches. Lloyd Mosby with a home run. Back in the 6th inning, it came off Cecilio Guante. A 3-runner.
That was a big base hit. That was a hit that very similar to Winfield's 3-run homer off Clemens. It got the juice flowing back in all the pinstripes. And the same thing tonight when he cranked out that 3-run homer off Guante. It put him right back in the ball game.
Yankees had led 11-4. Suddenly it was 11-8. And then the Blue Jays coming up with 6 in the 7th. Mosby now with 13 home runs, 49 RBIs. Takes a strike, 0-1. Mosby representing the winning run. 15-14 New York. Two base hits tonight for Mosby. The homer and a single back in the 1st inning. Foul ball. 1-2. Tony Fernandez down at first base. The count is 0-2 to Mosby. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jesse Barfield on deck. Dave Righetti trying to close this one out. Two and two. Got him.
Good hard slider.
2 men are out.
Here he waits very nicely. Righetti waits very nicely on it. Did not get impatient. Did not rush out there. Waited on it. You got to hang it back a little bit on the top side to throw the good hard breaking pitch, and that's exactly what he did. Got it in a good spot as well.
3rd strikeout for Righetti. 2 men are out. Fernandez at first base. Jesse Barfield will step in.
Power and power.
Struck out, popped up, struck out, bounced out, and then singled up the middle to score 2 runs in the 7th inning.
One thing I like about Barfield so much, so in situations like this, he's going to give himself a chance. He's going to take a good rip.
Ball 1. We're talking about really one of the premier people in all of baseball. Defensively, offensively.
Yeah. You could see it coming from his first year in the league.
Unbelievable arm. Great power. 40 homers last year. Righetti's pitch is hit high into the air to left field. Coming on his Ward along with Henderson. Henderson says yes, and the ball game is over.
How about it?
An unbelievable evening here on the shores of Lake Ontario as Dave Righetti gets save number 16, and the Yankees come away with a win, beating the Toronto Blue Jays by a score of 15-14. Right now, let's head over to Lee Zeidman.